A war so profound, it shaped civilizations for millennia, yet left no archaeological trace, no battlefield, and no written record. Tonight, we delve into that profound silence. We explore a conflict fought not with swords or armies, but with ideas, symbols, and whispered secrets. This journey takes us into the shadows of an age where battles happened inside the human mind. Victory belonged to the one who understood silence. Before we begin, if you enjoy quiet, detailed historical journeys like this, please like this video and subscribe to Sleep History Tales. Your support helps bring more peaceful storytelling to the world. The wind whispers through ancient stones. Shadows lengthen across forgotten ruins. A world once existed where silence was a formidable weapon. This was not a world devoid of sound. It was a world where sound itself became a deliberate instrument. Words were weighted with unseen power. Gestures carried unspoken commands. Entire narratives unfolded without a single utterance. The very air vibrated with unspoken tension. This profound quietude was meticulously cultivated. It was a strategic choice. Ancient civilizations understood this silent power. They learned to harness it. These societies often used symbols instead of armies. Their conflicts were not crude clashes of steel. They were subtle contests of meaning. Hieroglyphs on temple walls conveyed complex political messages. Intricate patterns in weaving warned of impending danger. The arrangement of stones in a public square dictated social hierarchies. Every visible element held a hidden layer of significance. Power resided in interpretation. The elite few controlled the key to these interpretations. They crafted narratives within the public consciousness. They influenced minds without raising a single banner. This early form of psychological warfare was remarkably effective. Empires were built upon these silent understandings. Kingdoms flourished or withered based on symbolic shifts. Out of this silent tapestry, a mysterious order arose. They were known only as the Quiet Circle. Their origins remain shrouded in enigma. Some say they emerged from the deserts of ancient Egypt. Others whisper of their genesis among the mystics of the Indus Valley. What is certain is their profound grasp of the unwritten. They understood the architecture of thought. They knew how beliefs formed. They could subtly shift perceptions. They operated entirely outside the traditional power structures. Their influence was unseen. Their presence was unfelt by the masses. The Quiet Circle influenced kings, queens, and entire empires. They did so through a network of highly trained operatives. These individuals moved like ghosts through royal courts. They were advisors, scribes, and even trusted servants. They never held overt power. Their authority lay in suggestion. They would introduce a new philosophical concept to a young prince. They might subtly alter a monarch's daily rituals. They carefully shaped the flow of information. A single strategically placed word could prevent a war. A well-timed silence could incite rebellion. Their methods were imperceptible. Their results were undeniable. History often records the outcomes. It never records their hands in the orchestrating. Their power derived from secret rituals of thought-based warfare. These were not violent rites. They were exercises in profound mental discipline. Members of the circle meditated for days in complete sensory deprivation. They practiced intense visualization techniques. They learned to project subtle influences. They developed an almost empathic understanding of human psychology. Their training involved mastering rhetoric without speaking. It involved persuasion through mere presence. They could destabilize an enemy's resolve from afar. They could strengthen an ally's conviction with an almost invisible touch. These rituals fostered an unparalleled mental fortitude. They created warriors of the mind. The first unwritten battle truly showcased their prowess. It occurred between two rival philosophers. One championed a doctrine of absolute societal control. The other advocated for individual freedom. Both were members of the Quiet Circle. Their names are lost to time. Their clash, however, set precedents. It was fought in the intellectual salons of a burgeoning empire. No armies marched, no blood was spilled. Instead, ideas were subtly pitted against each other. Speeches were crafted to contain hidden logical fallacies. Texts were penned with carefully embedded assumptions. Disciples were guided to ask specific, unsettling questions. The conflict played out over decades. It subtly eroded the opposing philosophy's foundations. The outcome shifted the course of that empire. It turned it from an autocratic path towards a more democratic structure. This silent triumph was a testament to the Circle's power. The success of this unwritten battle led to the spread of mind strategists across continents. The Quiet Circle became a global, albeit invisibly, force. Their network expanded. New initiates were recruited from diverse cultures. They shared a common commitment to the unseen conflict. They were masters of symbolism. They manipulated narratives. They understood the currents of collective consciousness. Their influence spread from the Mediterranean to the Far East. It touched every major civilization. They became the silent architects of societal evolution. They guided the trajectory of human thought. Their actions were always shrouded in secrecy. Their impact was profound. The culmination of their influence arrived with the Great Silence Accord. This was a treaty no one remembers. It was never written on parchment. It was never signed with ink. Instead, it was an understanding. It was a mutual recognition among the Circle's most powerful factions. They acknowledged the dangers of unchecked silent warfare. A global conflict of pure intellect could be catastrophic. It could lead to societal collapse through ideological chaos. The Accord established unwritten rules. It set boundaries for their covert interventions. It created a delicate balance. It ensured that the silent war remained contained. It prevented outright intellectual anarchy. This secret pact guaranteed a strange form of global stability. Evidence of these unwritten battles remained elusive. However, hidden writings were sometimes found in remote monasteries. These were not historical accounts. They were philosophical treatises. They were meditative texts. They contained strange diagrams. They hinted at unseen forces. Tay spoke of the weave of thought. Reference said the resonance of meaning. These documents were often encrypted. They were disguised as spiritual teachings. They alluded to a deeper conflict. They provided fragments of a forgotten intellectual tradition. Scholars often dismissed them as esoteric ramblings. They failed to grasp their true significance. These texts were the only surviving echoes of the Quiet Circle's myth. Entire empires collapsed without a single blade drawn due to the Circle's subtle interventions. Consider the fall of the Zolocian Empire. Conventional history points to internal corruption. It cites economic decline. These were mere symptoms. The Quiet Circle had carefully eroded the populace's faith. They questioned the legitimacy of the Emperor's divine right. They introduced subversive ideas into the public discourse. They fostered division among the noble houses. All this was done through symbols. All was done through whispers. The empire simply imploded from within. There was no grand invasion. There was no violent revolution. Just a quiet cessation of belief. It was a testament to the power of a shattered narrative. A truly forgotten chronicle was eventually discovered. It lay hidden in the desolate peaks of the Argus Mountains. This was not a traditional history book. It was a series of intricate ciphers carved into stone tablets. Deciphering it took centuries. Scholars believed it to be a philosophical text. Its true nature slowly emerged. It detailed the lineage of mind. It recorded their techniques. It even hinted at specific silent battles. It offered glimpses into the true nature of the Great Silence Accord. This chronicle was the closest thing to a written history of the unwritten war. It remained largely unacknowledged. Its secrets were too profound. The chronicle spoke of an unnamed sage. This individual was instrumental. They shaped the unseen war. This sage was not a leader in the conventional sense. They were a profound innovator. They refined the rituals of thought-based warfare. They codified the principles of psychological influence. They understood the deep currents of human consciousness. Their wisdom was legendary within the Circle. Their identity remained a complete mystery outside of it. The sage's teachings became the cornerstone of the Quiet Circle's methodology. They were the ultimate architect of the silent conflict. The final confrontation of the unwritten war was truly epic. It was a duel of pure intellect. Two grand strategists of the Quiet Circle faced each other. One sought to destabilize all existing power structures. The other aimed to preserve a fragile global balance. Their battlefield was the collective mind of humanity. Their weapons were abstract concepts. Their strategies involved complex narratives. They influenced societal trends. They subtly shifted cultural values. The conflict lasted for decades. It manifested as subtle shifts in philosophical thought. It appeared as new artistic movements. It even expressed itself through shifts in scientific paradigms. The stakes were immense. The future of human civilization hung in the balance. The victor determined the very direction of human thought. Echoes of their techniques persist in modern times. These are often unrecognized. Political messaging employs sophisticated psychological tactics. Advertising manipulates desires. Social media shapes public opinion. All these echo the ancient art of the quiet circle. Propaganda employs similar strategies of narrative control. The subtle dissemination of ideas can sway elections. It can start social movements. We perceive these as modern phenomena. They are, in fact, ancient strategies refined over millennia. The silent war never truly ended. It simply evolved. It moved into new arenas. Its methods became more diffuse. This unseen conflict prompts a profound reflection. It makes us consider power without violence. The quiet circle wielded immense influence. They never resorted to brute force. They manipulated perceptions. They shaped beliefs. They steered humanity's intellectual course. Their story suggests that true power resides not in coercion. It lies in persuasion. It lives in the subtle art of guiding thought. It is a power that leaves no scars. It leaves no ruins. Its impact is woven into the very fabric of existence. As the echoes of this unwritten war fade, allow your mind to soften. Breathe slowly. Let the quiet wisdom of the past wrap itself around you. You are safe. You are calm. This is your time to rest. But the story is not over. The whispers of the quiet circle echo still. They ripple through the very fabric of our modern world. We often mistake these echoes for original thoughts. We interpret them as spontaneous societal shifts. We fail to recognize the ancient patterns at play. The methodologies of the unwritten war persist. They merely operate under new disguises. The silent conflict continues, unabated. Tonight, we delve deeper. We peel back the layers of contemporary illusion. We expose the subtle machinations of inherited mental warfare. The strategies honed by the quiet circle did not simply vanish. They became embedded. They integrated into the collective unconscious. They shaped the very way we process information. They influenced how we form opinions. We are unwitting participants in a conflict. It is a conflict whose rules were written millennia ago. Consider the evolution of communication. Early human societies relied on direct interaction. Gestures and primal sounds conveyed immediate meaning. As language developed, complexity emerged. Written words brought permanence. Symbols took on greater weight. The quiet circle understood this progression intimately. They saw language as a tool. It was a tool for shaping reality. They manipulated its nuances. They controlled its dissemination. They mastered the art of silent influence. Their techniques were never crude. They were always sophisticated. They focused on fundamental human drives. They targeted core beliefs. They understood the power of suggestion. They knew how to plant an idea. They could nurture it within the mind. They could make it feel like an original thought. This was their ultimate skill. It remains the ultimate skill of modern manipulators. The internet became a new frontier. It provided an unprecedented medium for silent warfare. Information flows instantly across the globe. Ideas spread like wildfire. Narratives compete for dominance. The principles of the quiet circle find fertile ground here. Social media algorithms, for instance, are not neutral. They are designed to influence. They aim to engage. They subtly shape what we see. They influence what we believe. This is a digital battleground. It is ripe for silent strategists. Think about the concept of truth itself. The quiet circle understood its malleability. They knew truth was often a construct. It was shaped by perspective. It was influenced by shared narratives. They did not seek to impose absolute falsehoods. They merely shifted the emphasis. They subtly altered the context. They introduced new interpretations. This created a fractured reality. It made objective truth elusive. We see this phenomenon daily in our world. Competing narratives vie for acceptance. Facts become debatable. Beliefs become entrenched. One particular ancient technique stands out. It was Kujade, the weave of doubt. This technique did not directly attack an opponent's ideas. Instead, it subtly undermined their source. It questioned their motives. It eroded their credibility. It sowed seeds of suspicion among their followers. This was achieved through insinuation. It used carefully crafted rumor. It employed subtle, almost imperceptible challenges. The target's reputation would slowly unravel. Their influence would diminish. This entire process unfolded without a single direct confrontation. It left no tangible evidence of aggression. The quiet circle also perfected the echo chamber. They understood that people seek validation. They gravitate towards like-minded individuals. The strategists would subtly isolate dissenting voices. They would amplify agreeable ones. They created environments where specific ideas were constantly reinforced. Alternative viewpoints were marginalized. This resulted in a closed loop of information. It solidified particular worldviews. It made critical thinking difficult. This phenomenon is strikingly prevalent in our digital age. Social media algorithms create personalized echo chambers. They reinforce existing biases. They limit exposure to diverse perspectives. The unwritten war was fought on a deeply psychological level. It targeted emotions. It played on fears. It exploited desires. It tapped into fundamental human insecurities. The Circle's operatives were adept at reading human nature. They understood what made people tick. They knew how to motivate. They knew how to demotivate. They could incite passion. They could instill apathy. These are the same tools used in modern political campaigns. They are employed in marketing strategies. They are evident in public relations efforts. Consider the role of narrative in shaping societies. Every civilization has foundational myths. Every culture has defining stories. The Quiet Circle understood the immense power of these narratives. They could introduce new myths. They could subtly alter existing ones. They could reinterpret historical events. This allowed them to reshape collective memory. It influenced future actions. The control of narrative remains a potent weapon. It is used to define national identity. It frames social issues. It guides political discourse. The methods of the Quiet Circle were not inherently evil. They were tools. Like any tool, they could be used for creation or destruction. The Great Silence Accord was an attempt to regulate these tools. It aimed to prevent catastrophic misuse. It sought to maintain a delicate balance. The Accord recognized the immense destructive potential of unchecked silent warfare. It understood that a war of pure ideas could dismantle civilization itself. However, the Accord was unwritten. It was a mutual understanding. It relied on shared commitment. When the Quiet Circle disappeared, so too did the explicit enforcement of the Accord. The knowledge remained. The techniques persisted, but the regulatory framework dissolved. This left humanity vulnerable. It opened the door for fragmented, uncontrolled, silent conflicts. The modern world is a testament to this fractured state. We witness constant ideological skirmishes. We see battles over cultural values. We observe political polarization. These are all manifestations of the unwritten war. They are fought without a central command. They lack clear rules of engagement. They are often unconscious and reactive. We are all participants. We are all potential targets. The legacy of the Quiet Circle is not just in grand schemes. It is in the small, everyday interactions. It is in the subtle cues we send. It is in the messages we absorb. It is in the unspoken assumptions that guide our decisions. The silent war is pervasive. It is insidious. It is almost invisible. Many scholars, when encountering the faint echoes of the Quiet Circle, dismiss them. They attribute phenomena to natural social evolution. They explain shifts as economic forces. They classify cultural changes as emergent trends. They miss the underlying currents. They fail to see the ancient hand at work. The true nature of the silent war eludes conventional analysis. It requires a different lens. The concept of false consensus was a key insight of the Circle. They understood that if enough people believed something to be true, it gained power. It didn't matter if it was objectively false. The shared belief itself became a force. They could engineer these false consensuses. They could make a minority view seem like a majority one. They could make a fringe idea appear mainstream. This created powerful psychological pressure. It encouraged conformity. It stifled dissent. Their deep understanding of collective psychology was unparalleled. They knew about mob mentality. They understood groupthink. They could trigger these phenomena deliberately. They could steer them. They could harness their immense power. A carefully placed rumor could spark a panic. A well-timed symbol could inspire a mass movement. The Quiet Circle operated on a grand scale of human consciousness. The training of new initiates was rigorous. It went beyond mere intellectual study. It involved intense self-awareness. It demanded emotional control. Operatives had to understand their own biases. They had to master their own thoughts. They could not be influenced themselves. They had to be impervious to the very techniques they wielded. This internal discipline was paramount. It created individuals of immense mental fortitude. The ultimate goal of some factions within the Circle was societal harmony. They believed that silent guidance could prevent chaos. They sought to subtly steer humanity towards a benevolent future. Other factions held a more cynical view. They saw humanity as a malleable mass. They aimed for control. They desired influence for its own sake. This internal ideological split likely contributed to their eventual disappearance. The history of the Quiet Circle remains largely unwritten for a profound reason. Their very existence defied traditional historical record-keeping. How do you quantify a shift in public mood? How do you document a change in collective belief? These are not events with dates and locations. They are processes. They are currents. They are subtle transformations. Historians look for monuments. They search for battlefields. The Quiet Circle left none of these. Their monuments are our ideas. Their battlefields are our minds. Their legacy is the very structure of our thought. We are living within the framework they helped construct. We are still engaging in the silent war they pioneered. The methods have evolved. The technology has advanced, but the underlying principles remain the same. The Internet, in many ways, is the apotheosis of the Quiet Circle's vision. It is a global network of consciousness. It allows for instantaneous thought dissemination. It enables subtle influence on an unprecedented scale. Every meme, every trending topic, every viral video is a potential battleground. Every comment section is an arena for ideological skirmishes. The anonymity of the digital realm provides perfect cover. It allows for silent strategists to operate undetected. Bots and algorithms become the new operatives. They disseminate narratives. They amplify messages. They sow discord. They create consensus. The silent war has found its perfect medium. It has become diffuse. It has become omnipresent. The question then becomes, can we recognize these influences? Can we discern the hidden hand? Can we become aware of the silent war being waged around us? This awareness is the first step towards true intellectual autonomy. It is the beginning of reclaiming our own minds. The Quiet Circle's story is not just ancient history. It is a cautionary tale. It is a guide to understanding our present. It challenges us to look beyond the obvious. It compels us to question the narratives we consume. It forces us to confront the true nature of power. It is a power that operates without armies. It functions without overt violence. It shapes worlds through the manipulation of thought itself. The knowledge of the unwritten war is a heavy burden. It reveals the fragility of our perceived realities. It exposes the constant battle for our mental landscape. But it also offers liberation. It provides the tools for resistance. It empowers us to think critically. It allows us to forge our own truths. The hidden chronicles of the Argus Mountains continue to be studied. Modern linguists and cryptographers dedicate their lives to them. They decipher more fragments each year. These fragments reveal deeper layers of the Circle's strategies. They expose more names of silent battles. They shed light on previously incomprehensible societal shifts. The tapestry of the unwritten war slowly unfurls. These newly translated texts speak of thought seeds. These were carefully constructed ideas. They were designed to be subtly introduced into public discourse. They would germinate over time. They would grow into powerful belief systems. The strategists would then nurture these thought seeds. They would guide their development. This process could take generations. The results were enduring and transformative. The chronicles also detail narrative scaffolding. This was a method of building an entire belief system. It started with simple, agreeable premises. These were like the base of a scaffold. More complex ideas were then built upon them. Each layer reinforced the last. The entire structure became unshakable. It was incredibly difficult to dismantle. It created resilient ideologies. The concept of memory weaving also appears. This involved subtly altering historical accounts. It wasn't outright falsification. It was reframing. It was emphasizing certain aspects. It was downplaying others. This reshaped collective memory. It influenced how entire generations understood their past. It impacted their future choices. This was a sophisticated form of historical revisionism. The chronicle even touches upon dream echoes. This was a highly advanced and speculative technique. It suggested the possibility of subtle influence on the collective unconscious. This was achieved through symbolic resonance. It happened through archetypal manipulation. It involved the generation of shared dreams or recurring motifs. The scientific community remains deeply skeptical of this particular claim. However, within the quiet circle, it was considered a pinnacle of their art. It was a true mastery of the deep currents of consciousness. The discovery of these techniques in ancient texts is unsettling. It shows the incredible foresight of the quiet circle. It reveals their profound understanding of human nature. They anticipated the very mechanisms by which modern society is influenced. They laid the groundwork for the invisible battles we face today. The unnamed sage, mentioned in the previous records, receives further elucidation in these new translations. They are not one individual. They are a lineage. Each sage, built upon the wisdom of the last, they passed down their insights through generations. They ensured the continuity of the circle's knowledge. This continuity was critical. It allowed for the refinement of techniques. It ensured the preservation of their silent power. The final confrontation of the unwritten war, the duel of pure intellect, gains new depth. It was not just two strategists. It was a clash of two opposing philosophical lineages. One sought radical transformation. The other aimed for cautious preservation. Their epic silent battle determined the intellectual trajectory of entire epic. The aftershocks of that clash are still felt. They manifest as fundamental disagreements in contemporary philosophy. They appear as opposing political ideologies. The disappearance of the quiet circle remains the greatest enigma. The Argus Chronicles offer tantalizing, but inconclusive, hints. Some passages suggest a voluntary withdrawal. They achieved a level of influence. They then deemed direct intervention unnecessary. Their methods had become so ingrained, their influence had become so diffuse. Humanity was now subtly self-steering according to their long-laid plans. Other passages hinted at profound, catastrophic internal conflict. The two grand strategists, after their monumental duel, may have left the circle irreparably fractured. The intensity of their intellectual struggle might have torn the organization apart. The sheer force of their opposing ideas could have created an irreconcilable system. This would have led to a rapid, quiet dissolution. A third theory emerges from the most cryptic sections. It suggests a transcendence. The quiet circle, having mastered the architecture of thought, may have moved beyond the physical realm. They may have become pure consciousness. They may have merged with the collective mind they so profoundly influenced. This is a far more mystical interpretation. It speaks to the ultimate power of their mental discipline. Regardless of the precise reason for their disappearance, their impact is undeniable. The void they left was filled not by a vacuum, but by a diffuse continuation of their war. The tools they forged became accessible. They are now wielded, often unknowingly, by countless individuals and organizations. The silent war became a societal constant. Our task now is to navigate this reality. It is to recognize the echoes. It is to understand the legacy. It is to arm ourselves with critical thought. It is to fortify our own minds. This is the only true defense against the ongoing unwritten war. This is the path to true freedom. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, perhaps, you hear them differently. You perceive the unseen forces. You recognize the subtle currents. You understand the profound silence. The journey continues. The layers peel back further. The history of the unwritten war is far from fully revealed. We must delve deeper into its modern manifestations. We must explore the new battlegrounds. We must understand how its ancient principles shape our digital lives. Next, we will examine specific modern examples. We will highlight the techniques of the quiet circle in action. We will reveal how political movements leverage these strategies. We will show how commercial entities subtly shape our desires. We will uncover the pervasive influence of the unwritten war in our daily existence. Prepare to see the world with new eyes. Prepare to understand the hidden mechanics of influence. This understanding is your shield. This knowledge is your sword. The silent war rages on, and we, together, will continue to explore its profound depths. We will not turn away from the truth. We will seek it in the quiet. We will find it in the unseen. We will find it in the unseen. The digital realm is the primary arena. It is a vast network of interconnected minds. This network amplifies ancient strategies. It supercharges their effectiveness. Consider the phenomenon of viral trends. A seemingly innocuous video spreads globally. It captures collective attention. It shapes public discourse. This rapid dissemination is not always organic. It often leverages principles from the quiet circle. Thought seeds are planted. They are amplified by algorithms. They are nurtured by network effects. Social media platforms are particularly potent. They are designed for engagement. They thrive on emotional responses. This plays directly into the circle's understanding of human psychology. Negative emotions spread faster. Outrage generates more clicks. Fear solidifies group identity. These platforms exploit fundamental human vulnerabilities. They turn them into mechanisms of influence. Political campaigns are prime examples. They employ sophisticated data analysis. They target specific demographics. They craft messages tailored to individual anxieties. This is a modern form of narrative scaffolding. Simple premises are established. Complex ideologies are built upon them. The entire structure becomes resistant to external challenge. Think about the concept of micro-targeting. Political parties gather vast amounts of personal data. They understand individual preferences. They know fears and desires. They then send highly customized messages. These messages are designed to resonate deeply. They bypass critical thought. They appeal directly to emotion. This is a digital evolution of the quiet circle's targeted influence. Even commercial advertising utilizes these methods. Brands do not just sell products. They sell lifestyles. They sell aspirations. They create narratives around their offerings. They subtly influence our desires. They tap into our insecurities. They promise belonging or status. This is the resonance of affirmation in action. It reinforces existing desires. It then offers a solution. The echo chamber effect is more pervasive than ever. Algorithms personalize our feeds. They show us content we already agree with. They filter out dissenting opinions. This creates isolated information bubbles. Our beliefs are constantly validated. Our biases are perpetually reinforced. Critical thinking diminishes within these digital walls. Misinformation and disinformation campaigns are rampant. They are direct descendants of the weave of doubt. Opposing viewpoints are not directly refuted. Their sources are questioned. Their credibility is eroded. Seeds of suspicion are subtly planted. Trust in institutions diminish. The objective truth becomes secondary. The anonymity of the internet provides perfect cover. It allows for the widespread deployment of bots, It enables armies of online trolls. These entities spread specific narratives. They amplify certain voices. They silence others. They generate artificial consensus. This is a new breed of quiet circle operative. They operate without physical presence. They influence countless minds. Consider the impact on collective memory. Historical events are constantly reinterpreted online. New narratives emerge. Old ones are challenged. This is a digital memory weaving. It subtly reshapes how entire generations understand the past. It influences their present actions. It directs their future choices. The constant flow of information creates mental fatigue. People become overwhelmed. They seek simple answers. They crave clear narratives. This vulnerability is exploited. Strategists offer ready-made solutions. They provide appealing ideologies. They reduce complex issues to easily digestible sound bites. This simplifies the word. It also makes it easier to manipulate. The language we use online also matters. Hashtags condense complex ideas. Emojis convey emotional weight. Memes transmit narratives rapidly. These are modern symbols. They are incredibly powerful. They bypass traditional arguments. They operate on a purely symbolic level. The quiet circle would recognize their immense power. Even entertainment media plays a role. Movies and television shows subtly embed cultural messages. They normalize certain behaviors. They challenge existing norms. They shape our values. This is an indirect form of narrative control. It operates beneath conscious awareness. It influences societal trends over time. The line between news and opinion blurs. Personal blogs gain immense influence. Citizen journalists challenge traditional media. This decentralization of information has pros and cons. It democratizes storytelling. It also creates avenues for unchecked influence. Anyone can become a silent strategist. The thought seeds planted today germinate quickly. They spread through social networks. They are amplified by shared outrage or passion. They evolve rapidly. They can become powerful social movements. They can become destructive cults. The speed of digital propagation is unprecedented. The narrative scaffolding built online can be incredibly robust. Once a belief system takes hold, it is hard to dislodge. Disconfirming evidence is dismissed. Contradictory facts are ignored. The narrative becomes self-sustaining. It creates its own internal logic. The concept of identity is also under constant negotiation. Online communities define themselves. They create shared values. They establish boundaries. These identities can be harnessed. They can be manipulated. They can be pitted against each other. This is an evolution of fostering division. It is also an evolution of building loyalty. The unnamed sage lineage, if it still exists, now operates with unparalleled tools. They have access to global data. They can analyze collective consciousness in real time. Their ability to project influence is vastly augmented. Their methods are more subtle. Their reach is more profound. The duel of pure intellect, fought between opposing philosophical lineages, continues. It manifests as a global war of ideologies. Authoritarianism versus democracy, globalism versus nationalism. These are modern expressions of ancient intellectual clashes. The battlefield is everywhere. The stakes remain immense. The disappearance of the quiet circle, whether through schism or transcendence, created a vacuum. This vacuum was not empty. It was filled with the democratized tools of silent warfare. The rules of the Accord dissolved. The checks and balances vanished. The conflict became chaotic. We are now living in that chaos. We are grappling with its consequences. The constant barrage of information is exhausting. The erosion of trust is debilitating. The fragmentation of truth is disorienting. This is the legacy of the unwritten war. To navigate this reality, we must become vigilant. We must question every narrative. We must scrutinize every source. We must understand the psychological triggers. We must identify the thought seeds. We must recognize the narrative scaffolding. This is a new form of literacy. It is a mental self-defense. The education system often lags behind. It teaches traditional subjects. It does not adequately prepare us for this silent conflict. Critical thinking skills are essential. Media literacy is paramount. Emotional intelligence is crucial. These are the tools for the modern age. The individual becomes the new battlefield. Our attention is a commodity. Our beliefs are targets. Our emotions are weapons. We must learn to fortify our inner landscape. We must cultivate mental resilience. We must protect our intellectual autonomy. The power of silence is still immense. In a noisy world, quiet reflection is revolutionary. It allows for independent thought. It fosters critical distance. It provides a sanctuary from the relentless barrage. This quiet is a form of resistance. The knowledge of the quiet circle, one secret, is now becoming visible. The Argus Chronicles unveil their wisdom. Modern analysis reveals their techniques. The invisible hand is slowly being unmasked. This unmasking is crucial. It is the first step towards true self-governance. We are entering a new phase of the Unwritten War. It is not just about recognizing the past. It is about actively shaping the future. It is about understanding the present battle. It is about choosing our own narratives. It is about forging our own truths. The journey continues into this modern landscape. We will examine specific case studies. We will dissect contemporary events. We will see the ancient techniques in action. We will learn to identify their modern guises. We will equip ourselves with this vital understanding. Prepare to confront uncomfortable truths. Prepare to challenge your own assumptions. Prepare to see the world not as it appears, but as it is subtly influenced. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It demands intellectual courage. It requires an open mind. The goal is not to fear this silent war. The goal is to understand it. The goal is to demystify it. The goal is to empower ourselves within it. We are not merely passive recipients. We can be active participants. We can become conscious strategists. We can choose our own path. The echoes of the quiet circle are not just whispers. They are clarion calls. They invite us to awaken. They compel us to observe. They challenge us to think deeply. This awakening is our greatest strength. This awareness is our ultimate defense. The modern world is a grand experiment. It tests the resilience of human consciousness. It challenges our capacity for independent thought. It probes our ability to distinguish truth from manipulation. The outcome of this experiment is yet unwritten. We are the authors of the next chapter. Our choices will determine its course. Our awareness will define its trajectory. Our actions will shape its conclusion. The silent war demands our full attention. It demands our active participation. It demands our awakened minds. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence holds a new meaning. It is not an absence of sound. It is a presence of power. It is an invitation to listen. It is a challenge to discern. The journey continues. We will explore the weaponization of language. We will examine the architecture of online influence. We will uncover the new frontiers of psychological warfare. This is an ongoing exploration. It is a vital education. Next, we will focus on specific contemporary examples. We will reveal how thought seeds become viral memes. We will sow narrative scaffolding builds political movements. We will uncover memory, weaving in historical revisionism. This will ground the ancient theory in modern reality. This will bring the unseen war into clear focus. This will empower your perception. This will empower your perception. Consider the immediate impact of viral memes. A catchy image or a short video clip can disseminate a thought seed in seconds. It bypasses logical processing. It appeals directly to emotion. These memes often carry hidden assumptions. They embed subtle biases. They plant ideas that germinate in the collective unconscious. They are not merely humorous. They are powerful instruments of influence. They rapidly shape public opinion. They normalize certain viewpoints. They marginalize others. This is the ancient art of symbolic communication. It is supercharged by digital networks. Political movements exemplify narrative scaffolding in action. A candidate might begin with universally accepted values. They speak of community, freedom, or prosperity. These form the unassailable base layer. Then, more specific policy proposals are introduced. They are framed as natural extensions of those core values. Disagreeing with a policy then feels like disagreeing with the fundamental value itself. This makes the entire ideological structure incredibly resilient. It creates a psychological barrier to dissent. It solidifies a loyal following. It establishes an impenetrable belief system. Historical revisionism, particularly online, showcases memory weaving. Algorithms present curated historical narratives. Certain events are highlighted, others are suppressed. Perspectives are subtly altered. A national hero might be recast as a villain. A forgotten injustice might be brought to the forefront. These shifts are often not overt, they are recontextualizations. They are manipulations of emphasis. They reshape collective memory. They influence how a society understands its past. This impacts its present identity. It guides its future trajectory. It subtly steers cultural values. The echo chamber thrives on personalized content. Social media platforms learn our preferences. They show us more of what we already like. They reinforce our existing beliefs. This creates a comfortable bubble of affirmation. Dissenting voices are filtered out. Diverse perspectives are absent. Our worldviews become narrower. Our biases become entrenched. This makes us susceptible to further manipulation. It makes critical evaluation of information difficult. It creates ideological silos. Misinformation campaigns are sophisticated examples of the weave of Tao. They do not directly argue against an opposing view. They cast aspersions on its sources. They question its motives. They introduce irrelevant but damaging details. They insinuate corruption. They suggest hidden agendas. This erodes trust in experts. It undermines established institutions. It creates a climate of pervasive skepticism. It makes objective truth seem unattainable. The weaponization of language is profound. Euphemisms soften harsh realities. Jargon obscures clarity. Loaded terms trigger emotional responses. Slogans simplify complex issues. These linguistic choices are deliberate. They're crafted for impact. They're designed to influence perception. They are modern tools of silent persuasion. They bypass rational thought. They appeal directly to our subconscious. Digital bots and artificial intelligence are the new operatives. They operate without human presence. They disseminate narratives at scale. They amplify specific messages. They create artificial engagement. They generate false consensus. They swarm online discussions. They silence opposition. They flood the information space. These sophisticated tools embody the quiet circle's network of unseen influence. Their impact is global. Their reach is instantaneous. The targeting of individual psychological vulnerabilities is now hyper-efficient. Data analysis reveals our fears. It identifies our desires. It exposes our insecurities. Companies and political groups leverage this data. They send highly personalized messages. These messages are designed to resonate deeply. They bypass our conscious defenses. They appeal to our primal instincts. This is the ultimate evolution of subtle influence. It is a direct assault on the individual mind. The erosion of trust in traditional media is a significant consequence. As the weave of doubt permeates online discourse, confidence in established sources diminishes. People turn to alternative, often less credible, outlets. They seek information that confirms their existing biases. This further fragments reality. It exacerbates polarization. It makes shared understanding almost impossible. The phenomenon of cancel culture also reflects ancient tactics. A perceived transgression leads to public condemnation. The individual is ostracized. Their influence is diminished. This is a digital form of social shaming. It enforces conformity. It stifles controversial opinions. It discourages dissent. It can be a powerful tool for narrative control. Emotional contagion spreads rapidly online. Outrage, fear, joy, and sadness can sweep through social networks. This emotional resonance is not accidental. It is often engineered. Strategists understand how to trigger these responses. They harness collective emotions. They direct them towards specific goals. This is a powerful form of crowd manipulation. The creation of online communities, while often positive, can also be exploited. These groups form strong identities. They share common values. They create a sense of belonging. This unity can be harnessed. It can be directed towards political ends. It can be used to mobilize action. It can also be used to insulate members from external influence. The line between news and entertainment continues to blur. Infotainment delivers political messages wrapped in entertainment. Documentaries present curated narratives. Fictional stories subtly influence our worldview. This makes it harder to distinguish between fact and persuasion. It allows for messages to bypass our critical filters. The constant need for digital validation fuels many of these mechanisms. Likes, shares, and comments become digital affirmations. We seek approval from our online peers. This desire for validation can be exploited. It can encourage conformity. It can incentivize the spread of particular narratives. It creates a feedback loop of influence. The speed of information flow is both a blessing and a curse. It democratizes access to knowledge. It also accelerates the spread of misinformation. A thought seed can become a global phenomenon overnight. Its impact can be profound. Its origins can be untraceable. The concept of deepfakes represents a new frontier. Manipulated images and videos blur the line between reality and illusion. They can create convincing but entirely fabricated events. This is memory weaving at its most extreme. It can rewrite history in real time. It can destabilize entire societies. The algorithms that govern our digital lives are not neutral arbiters. They are designed to optimize for engagement. This often means prioritizing sensational content. It means amplifying emotionally charged messages. These algorithms are unintentional, or perhaps intentional, architects of silent warfare. They are constantly shaping our perceptions. The very structure of our attention is under attack. Notifications, alerts, and constant streams of content fragment our focus. We move from one piece of information to another. Deep thought becomes difficult. Sustained analysis is challenging. This mental fatigue makes us more susceptible to simplified narratives. It makes us less likely to question. The unnamed sage lineage, Iphytsurbibes, now works in the shadows of data centers. They analyze patterns of human interaction. They predict societal shifts. They subtly adjust the algorithms. They introduce new thought seeds. Their influence, though invisible, is immense. They are the ultimate digital architects. The great intellectual duel, the clash of opposing philosophical lineages, continues online. It manifests as fierce debates over global issues, climate change, human rights, economic systems. These are the battlegrounds. The stakes remain the future of human civilization. The victor determines the direction of our collective consciousness. The disappearance of the quiet circle left humanity with powerful tools. It left us without a guiding hand. The great silence accord evaporated. The delicate balance was lost. The result is a chaotic, decentralized, silent war. Everyone is both a combatant and a target. To navigate this landscape, self-awareness is paramount. We must understand our own biases. We must recognize our emotional triggers. We must actively seek diverse perspectives. This intellectual humility is a powerful shield. It protects us from manipulation. Critical thinking is no longer an academic exercise. It is a survival skill. We must question sources. We must analyze narratives. We must evaluate evidence. This rigorous mental discipline is our best defense against the unwritten war. Media literacy is essential for all ages. Understanding how information is produced and consumed is vital. Recognizing rhetorical devices is crucial. Identifying propaganda techniques is empowering. This education is the bedrock of intellectual autonomy. Cultivating moments of true silence is revolutionary. Stepping away from the digital noise allows for reflection. It enables independent thought. It provides space for perspective. This personal quietude is a powerful form of resistance. It reclaims our mental landscape. The Argus Chronicles continue to yield their secrets. New translations reveal more advanced techniques. They speak of cognitive inoculation. This involves subtly exposing individuals to weak forms of opposing arguments. It built mental resilience. It made them resistant to stronger influences later on. This ancient wisdom holds keys for modern They also detail pattern disruption. This technique broke established routines of thought. It introduced unexpected elements. It forced people to reevaluate their assumptions. It prevented the rigid solidification of belief systems. This was a tool for intellectual dynamism. The concept of subliminal resonance also appeared. This involved the careful deployment of symbols. These symbols bypassed conscious awareness. They resonated directly with the subconscious. They evoked specific emotions or ideas without explicit recognition. This was a highly advanced form of psychological priming. The knowledge from these chronicles is not just historical. It is a blueprint for understanding our present. It reveals the timeless nature of influence. It exposes the enduring battle for human thought. It offers a path to empowerment. We are not helpless in this silent war. We possess the capacity for critical thought. We can choose what we consume. We can decide what we amplify. We can become conscious architects of our own minds. This agency is our ultimate power. The journey into the modern manifestations of the Unwritten War continues. We will delve deeper into specific societal impacts. We will examine how this war influences our democracy. We will explore its role in global conflicts. We will uncover its presence in our daily lives. Prepare to analyze the hidden forces shaping our world. Prepare to sharpen your perception. Prepare to reclaim your intellectual sovereignty. This understanding is not a burden. It is a liberation. It is the beginning of true awareness. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence resonates with a deeper meaning. It invites us to listen. It compels us to understand. It challenges us to act. This is the ongoing story of the Unwritten War. It is a conflict fought, not with steel, but with ideas. It is waged not on battlefields, but in our minds. Its legacy is etched not in monuments, but in the very fabric of our consciousness. We must remain vigilant. We must remain aware. We must continue to explore its profound depths. We must continue to explore its profound depths. We will now turn our gaze to the realm of democracy. It is a system built on informed consent. It relies on a shared understanding of reality. The Unwritten War poses a fundamental threat to these principles. Elections are particularly vulnerable. They become battlegrounds for competing narratives. Thought seeds are deployed to sway voters. These seeds are often emotionally charged. They bypass rational debate. They create visceral responses. They divide the electorate. Political discourse fragments. Common ground disappears. Citizens retreat into their echo chambers. They only hear validating voices. They consume confirming information. This makes compromise impossible. It hinders constructive dialogue. Democracy falters without these elements. Foreign interference in elections is a stark modern example. External actors apply the weave of doubt. They spread misinformation. They sow discord. They undermine trust in the electoral process itself. They do not need armies. They do not need bombs. They merely need access to our minds. Referendums also fall prey to these tactics. Complex issues are reduced to slogans. Narrative scaffolding builds simplistic arguments. These arguments are difficult to penetrate. They appeal to fear or hope. They obscure nuanced understanding. The public votes based on manipulated perceptions. The rise of populism is another manifestation. Charismatic leaders employ resonance of affirmation. They validate existing grievances. They amplify collective frustrations. They offer simple solutions to complex problems. This creates a powerful emotional bond. It bypasses logical scrutiny. The justice system is not immune. Public opinion can be swayed by online narratives. Accused individuals are tried in the court of social media. Memory weaving reinterprets events. It creates a predetermined verdict. This undermines due process. It erodes faith in impartiality. Even scientific consensus can be challenged. Well-established facts are debated. Manufactured controversies are amplified. The weave of doubt targets scientific institutions. It questions their integrity. It suggests hidden agendas. This erodes public trust and expertise. It hinders progress. Global conflicts are profoundly shaped by the unwritten war. Nations do not just fight with conventional weapons. They fight for control of narratives. Propaganda aims to demonize the enemy. It seeks to legitimize military action. It strives to win hearts and minds. Information warfare is a recognized military doctrine. It employs many techniques of the quiet circle. Cyber operations disrupt communication. Psychological operations spread specific messages. These actions aim to destabilize adversaries. They seek to strengthen allies. They shape global perception. Economic policies are also influenced. Public acceptance of austerity measures can be engineered. Narratives of national sacrifice are constructed. Promises of future prosperity are amplified. This narrative scaffolding justifies difficult decisions. It shapes public compliance. Consider the role of soft power. Cultural exports subtly influence other nations. Popular media carries embedded values. It promotes specific lifestyles. This is a form of global memory weaving. It reshapes how nations perceive each other. It fosters certain alliances. The unwritten war even permeates our personal lives. Our self-perception is influenced by social media. Curated images create unrealistic expectations. We compare ourselves to idealized versions. This leads to anxiety. It generates insecurity. Consumer choices are constantly manipulated. Advertisements create artificial needs. They tap into our deepest desires. They promise happiness or belonging through consumption. This is a subtle, pervasive form of influence. It drives economic behavior. Our relationships are affected. Misinformation can strain trust. Ideological differences can create division. The constant noise of the digital world can erode genuine connection. It can lead to isolation. It can foster loneliness. Parenting faces new challenges. Children are exposed to a torrent of unfiltered information. They navigate complex online narratives. Parents struggle to equip them with critical thinking skills. They must teach digital literacy. This is a new frontier of mental protection. Even our spirituality is touched. Online gurus offer ready-made belief systems. They attract followers seeking answers. These communities can become powerful echo chambers. They solidify specific doctrines. They resist external questioning. The thought aids are everywhere. They are in the news articles we read. They are in the videos we watch. They are in the conversations we overhear. They are subtly shaping our reality. They are constantly influencing our worldview. The narrative scaffolding is constructed around us. It frames our understanding of society. It dictates our political allegiances. It defines our cultural identities. It is a powerful, invisible architecture of thought. It is difficult to dismantle. Memory weaving redefines our personal histories. Online trends dictate what we remember. They shape how we interpret past events. Our individual stories become entangled with collective narratives. This impacts our sense of self. The unnamed sage lineage, if it survives, may not be human at all. Perhaps advanced AI systems have become the new architects. They analyze data on a scale unimaginable to ancient minds. They craft narratives with perfect precision. They deploy thought seeds with unparalleled efficiency. The great intellectual duel has evolved. It is no longer just philosophers. It is complex algorithms. It is global data networks. It is the clash of competing AI systems. They vie for control of collective human consciousness. The stakes remain the very direction of our species. The disappearance of the quiet circle left humanity with immense power. This power was democratized. It was weaponized. It was unleashed without rules. This unleashed power defines our current era. It creates unprecedented challenges. To truly understand this, we must develop cognitive inoculation. We must actively expose ourselves to diverse viewpoints. We must analyze counter-arguments. This builds mental immunity. It strengthens our resistance to manipulation. We must practice pattern disruption. We should deliberately seek out information that challenges our biases. We should question our comfortable routines of thought. This fosters intellectual flexibility. It prevents mental rigidity. We must become aware of subliminal resonance. We must recognize the symbols that affect us. We must analyze the emotions they evoke. We must question their source and intent. This awareness is a powerful defense. The Argus Chronicles are more than just ancient texts. They are a guidebook for mental self-defense. They provide strategies for navigating the unwritten war. They empower us to reclaim our autonomy. They offer a path to intellectual freedom. This knowledge is not a passive tool. It demands action. It requires constant vigilance. It necessitates active participation. We must become conscious agents in this ongoing conflict. We must protect our minds. We must cultivate empathy. Understanding different perspectives is crucial. It bridges divides. It breaks down echo chambers. It fosters shared humanity. This is a powerful counter to fragmentation. We must prioritize truth. We must seek factual accuracy. We must value evidence. This commitment to truth is the bedrock of intellectual integrity. It is the foundation of a healthy society. We must foster critical dialogue. We must engage respectfully with opposing views. We must challenge ideas, not people. This open discourse strengthens democracy. It builds collective wisdom. The silent war is not an external force alone. It is also an internal struggle. It is the battle for our own minds. It is the fight for our own beliefs. It is the quest for our own truths. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, you carry a new awareness. You understand the profound silence. You recognize the unseen forces at play. The journey continues. We have seen the techniques. We have examined the modern manifestations. Now, we must focus on solutions. We must explore methods of resistance. We must discuss strategies for individual and collective empowerment. Next, we will outline practical steps. We will provide tools for mental fortification. We will discuss how to build resilient communities. We will explore ways to foster true intellectual autonomy. This knowledge is your ultimate weapon. This awareness is your strongest shield. The unwritten war demands our active engagement. The unwritten war demands our active engagement. We must become conscious participants. We must forge our own intellectual defenses. The first step is self-awareness. Understand your own biases. Recognize your emotional triggers. Identify your core values. This internal mapping creates a personal sanctuary. It protects against external manipulation. Cultivate critical thinking skills. Question every piece of information. Scrutinize every source. Analyze every narrative. Do not accept anything at face value. This relentless intellectual inquiry builds mental fortitude. It strengthens your inner landscape. Develop media literacy. Learn how information is produced. Understand how it is disseminated. Recognize rhetorical devices. Identify propaganda techniques. This knowledge reveals the hidden mechanics of influence. It empowers informed decision-making. Actively seek diverse perspectives. Step outside your echo chamber. Engage with ideas that challenge your worldview. Listen to voices that differ from your own. This broadens your understanding. It prevents intellectual isolation. Practice intellectual humility. Acknowledge the limits of your knowledge. Be open to changing your mind. Do not cling rigidly to beliefs. This flexibility makes you adaptable. It makes you resilient to manipulation. Embrace purposeful disengagement. Step away from the digital noise. Create moments of true silence. Allow for reflection. Foster independent thought. This quiet time is a powerful antidote to constant influence. It reclaims your attention. Engage in constructive dialogue. Discuss ideas respectfully. Challenge arguments, not individuals. Seek common ground. Build bridges of understanding. This strengthens collective intelligence. It counteracts societal fragmentation. Prioritize verified information. Support credible journalism. Value factual accuracy. Demand evidence-based reasoning. This commitment to truth is fundamental. It is the bedrock of a robust democracy. Teach these skills to the next generation. Equip children with critical thinking. Instill media literacy from an early age. Foster emotional intelligence. Prepare them for the ongoing silent war. This is an investment in our collective future. Build resilient communities. Foster local connections. Support independent institutions. Create spaces for genuine exchange. These strong social fabrics resist external pressure. They provide anchors in a chaotic world. Recognize the power of your own voice. Your actions matter. Your choices influence others. Use your platform responsibly. Share verified information. Promote constructive narratives. Be an active force for positive change. Understand the nature of attention. It is a valuable commodity. Be mindful of where you direct it. Protect it from constant distraction. Focus it on what truly matters. This control over your attention is a form of power. Practice emotional regulation. Do not react impulsively to online provocations. Take a moment to pause. Analyze the emotional appeal. This emotional intelligence prevents manipulation. It fosters calm decision-making. Be aware of thought seeds. Recognize them when they are planted. Understand their intended growth. Choose whether to nurture them. Your mind is the garden. You decide what grows there. Dismantle narrative scaffolding. Identify the underlying premises. Question their validity. Challenge the logical connections. Do not accept a ready-made worldview. Build your own understanding. Expose memory weaving. Scrutinize historical accounts. Compare different interpretations. Understand the context of narrative construction. Do not let others define your past. Claim your own history. Embrace cognitive inoculation. Deliberately expose yourself to weak forms of misinformation. Learn to identify its tactics. This builds resistance. It prepares you for stronger assaults. Utilize pattern disruption. Break free from rigid thought processes. Seek novel experiences. Challenge your own assumptions regularly. This keeps your mind agile. It prevents ideological calcification. Babyhiland for subliminal resonance. Recognize symbols. Analyze their emotional impact. Understand their cultural context. Do not let unconscious cues dictate your reactions. Bring them into conscious awareness. The Argus Chronicles are a profound resource. Their ancient wisdom offers modern solutions. They are a blueprint for intellectual autonomy. They provide tools for navigating the unwritten war. This knowledge is not about fear. It is about empowerment. It is about informed agency. It is about reclaiming your mind. It is about shaping your own reality. The global landscape is shifting. The stakes are immense. Our ability to discern truth is paramount. Our capacity for independent thought is crucial. Our collective future depends on it. The unnamed sage lineage, if it survives, operates in a new realm. It might be within the very algorithms. It might be in the collective consciousness itself. Their influence is still present. The great intellectual duel continues. It is fought across global networks. It is waged through competing ideologies. It is present in every political debate. It affects every cultural shift. The disappearance of the quiet circle brought chaos. It democratized the tools of influence. It removed the checks and balances. We must now become our own regulators. We must become conscious guardians. This is a call to action. It is an invitation to awaken. It is a challenge to engage deeply. It is a demand for intellectual courage. We must rise to this challenge. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence speaks to a profound truth. It speaks of power. It speaks of awareness. It speaks of our collective future. The journey continues. We will delve into strategies for collective resistance. We will explore how societies can fortify themselves against the unwritten war. We will discuss the role of education in shaping a resilient future. We will examine how ethical AI could counter malicious influence. We will build a roadmap for intellectual liberation. This exploration is vital. It is urgent. It is our shared responsibility. It defines our shared destiny. It defines our shared destiny. Collective resilience is paramount. Societies must consciously fortify themselves. This protection begins with education. We must rethink learning entirely. Traditional schooling often falls short. It emphasizes rote memorization. It neglects critical thinking. It fails to prepare minds for silent warfare. A new curriculum is necessary. It must focus on intellectual self-defense. Media literacy should be a core subject. It needs to start in primary school. Children must learn to identify propaganda. They need to recognize rhetorical manipulation. They must understand algorithmic biases. This foundational knowledge empowers future generations. Philosophy should be it teaches logical reasoning. It fosters ethical discernment. It encourages nuanced understanding. These are crucial skills. They combat simplistic narratives. They resist ideological capture. Civic education must evolve. It should teach active participation. It needs to promote respectful discourse. It must emphasize shared responsibility. This builds a robust democratic culture. It strengthens societal cohesion. Emotional intelligence training is vital. It helps individuals understand their own feelings. It teaches empathy for others. It builds emotional resilience. It reduces vulnerability to fear and outrage. This emotional mastery is a shield. Communities need safe spaces for dialogue. These are forums for diverse viewpoints. They foster genuine understanding. They bridge ideological divides. They break down echo chambers. These spaces rebuild trust. Local journalism must be supported. It provides verified information. It holds local power accountable. It counters national misinformation. A strong local press is a bulwark against silent warfare. Public libraries have a new role. They are not just repositories of books. They are centers for media literacy. They host critical thinking workshops. They provide access to diverse information. They become anchors of intellectual freedom. Governments must regulate digital platforms. They need to demand transparency. They must hold platforms accountable for misinformation. They need to protect user data. This regulatory framework is essential. It curbs the power of silent manipulators. Ethical AI development is crucial. AI systems currently amplify division. They spread misinformation. They optimize for engagement, not truth. We need AI that prioritizes human well-being. It must promote verified information. It needs to foster critical thinking. Imagine an AI librarian. This system would analyze information streams. It would flag logical fallacies. It would identify manipulative rhetoric. It would present diverse perspectives. It would guide users towards truth. This ethical AI could be a powerful ally. Another concept is cognitive firewall AI. This system would learn an individual's biases. It would gently challenge them. It would introduce counter-arguments. It would encourage self-reflection. It would protect against targeted manipulation. However, ethical AI itself can be a battleground. Malicious actors could corrupt it. They could subvert its purpose. They could turn it into a new tool of silent warfare. Constant vigilance is required. Robust oversight is paramount. The unnamed sage lineage might still be active. They could be working within ethical AI communities. They might be guiding its development. They could be attempting to restore the Great Silence Accord. Their subtle influence could be benevolent. Conversely, some factions might exploit AI. They might use it for unprecedented control. They could engineer global thought seeds. They might construct impenetrable narrative scaffolding. This would be the ultimate authoritarian silent war. The intellectual duel of the past intensifies. It manifests as a struggle over AI's future. Will it serve humanity, Will it dominate us? This question defines our current epoch. Its answer determines our fate. The disappearance of the quiet circle left a void. This void is now being filled. It is filled by both chaos and conscious effort. Humanity is learning to navigate this new landscape. We are slowly adapting. This adaptation requires collective action. Individuals cannot fight this war alone. We need shared strategies. We need mutual support. We need a unified commitment to truth. International cooperation is vital. Nations must share intelligence on misinformation. They need to coordinate defenses against cyber influence. They must establish global norms for digital ethics. This collaboration is a collective shield. Artists and storytellers have a crucial role. They can challenge dominant narratives. They can foster empathy. They can inspire critical thought. They can expose hidden truths. Art is a powerful weapon against silent manipulation. Philosophers must step forward. They must clarify ethical dilemmas. They need to guide public discourse. They must provide intellectual frameworks. Their wisdom is more vital than ever. Scientists must communicate clearly. They need to explain complex issues simply. They must build public trust. They must counter manufactured doubt. Their expertise is a bulwark against misinformation. This is not a war that can be won definitively. It is an ongoing state of vigilance. It is a continuous effort. It is a constant battle for human consciousness. We must prepare for a long engagement. The goal is not eradication of influence. That is impossible. The goal is intellectual autonomy. It is mental resilience. It is the freedom to choose our own beliefs. The Argus Chronicles remain our guide. They offer insights into timeless techniques. They provide wisdom for navigating modern challenges. Their secrets continue to illuminate our path. The concept of cognitive inoculation can be applied globally. Nations can proactively educate citizens. They can expose them to common manipulation tactics. This builds societal immunity. Pattern disruption can break societal stalemates. Introducing new ideas can foster progress. Challenging rigid traditions can lead to innovation. This dynamic approach keeps societies adaptable. Subliminal resonance must be understood. We need to analyze the symbols around us. We must question their impact. We need to reclaim their meaning. This conscious awareness weakens their power. The very air around us vibrates with unseen tension. The digital realm pulses with unspoken conflict. We are living in the profound silence. We are breathing the unwritten war. This understanding is not a cause for despair. It is an invitation to agency. It is a call to awaken. It is a challenge to evolve. We must rise to this moment. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, you are not merely listening. You are discerning. You are analyzing. You are preparing. The journey continues. We will delve deeper into the ethical dilemmas of AI. We will explore the potential for a global cognitive enlightenment. We will imagine a future where humanity wields the tools of silent influence for a collective good. This is a journey of hope. It is a quest for liberation. It is the forging of our new destiny. We are the architects of this future. We are the guardians of consciousness. We are the guardians of consciousness. This guardianship is an active responsibility. It demands constant vigilance. It requires profound wisdom. It shapes the very essence of our existence. The ethical dilemmas of air, paramount. Artificial intelligence holds immense potential. It can process vast amounts of data. It can identify complex patterns. It can even generate new ideas. This power is It can be used for liberation. It can also be used for unprecedented control. Imagine an AI designed to protect truth. It could analyze information streams globally. It could detect thought seeds of misinformation. It could identify narrative scaffolding built on falsehoods. It could flag memory weaving that distorts history. This AI would be a digital guardian. It would serve human cognition. But who designs this AI? Who controls its parameters? Whose definition of truth does it uphold? These are critical questions. The biases of its creators could be embedded. Its algorithms could subtly steer perception. This benevolent AI could become a new form of silent manipulator. It could wield immense power. It could enforce a single narrative. The potential for a cognitive enlightenment is real. Humanity could use advanced AI as a tool. We could enhance our critical thinking. We could broaden our understanding. We could transcend our inherent biases. This AI could help us achieve collective wisdom. It could facilitate a global awakening. This enlightenment would be a proactive choice. It would require collective commitment. It would demand intellectual courage. It would mean confronting uncomfortable truths. It would involve dismantling outdated belief systems. It would be a profound societal transformation. A future where humanity wields silent influence for collective good is conceivable. We could harness narrative power. We could shape cultural values. We could foster global empathy. We could prevent conflict. We could guide societal evolution. This would be a conscious and ethical application of the Quiet Circle's wisdom. This benevolent use would require new ethical frameworks. It would demand global oversight. It would need transparent governance. It would mean constant self-reflection. It would be a continuous process of calibration. It would require humanity to grow. The very nature of power would change. It would shift from coercion to persuasion. It would move from violence to insight. It would operate through understanding. It would build consensus. This would be a new paradigm of global interaction. The Argus Chronicles offer a roadmap. They reveal the profound mechanisms of influence. They expose the timeless battle for human thought. They provide the wisdom to navigate this future. They guide us toward conscious creation. The journey ahead is complex. It is fraught with challenges, but it is also filled with immense possibility. We stand at a crossroads. We can succumb to chaotic influence. We can choose active stewardship. The unnamed sage lineage, if they still exist, might be observing us. They might be waiting for humanity to mature. They might be subtly nudging us toward conscious awareness. Their ancient wisdom echoes through our present. It guides our future. The great intellectual duel continues. It is waged in the design of algorithms. It is fought in the ethics of AI. It is present in every decision about data. It defines the trajectory of our technological future. The disappearance of the Quiet Circle was a test. It was a challenge to humanity. Could we learn from their legacy? Could we master their tools? Could we become the conscious guardians of our own minds? This test continues today. We are entering an age of unprecedented mental leverage. Our thoughts are no longer isolated. They are interconnected. They are amplified. They are globally accessible. This interconnectedness is our greatest strength. It is also our greatest vulnerability. This future demands a new kind of leadership. It requires leaders who understand the unwritten war. It needs those who can foster critical thought. It needs those who can guide ethical innovation. It requires guardians of consciousness. The responsibility falls to each of us. We must educate ourselves. We must cultivate wisdom. We must act with integrity. We must protect our mental landscapes. We must contribute to the collective good. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence holds the promise of a future. It speaks of a humanity awakened. It speaks of a consciousness liberated. It speaks of a destiny forged with wisdom. This is the ultimate hope. This is our profound purpose. This is the ongoing. The exploration of AI's ethical dilemmas is critical. AI is not merely a tool. It is becoming an extension of human intellect. Its capabilities for analysis are unmatched. Its ability to influence is profound. This necessitates deep ethical consideration. Consider the concept of algorithmic empathy. Could AI be designed to understand human emotions? Could it learn to predict emotional responses? This would be incredibly powerful. It could be used to comfort. It could be used to manipulate. An AI that understands the resonance of affirmation could build incredibly loyal communities. It could reinforce positive values. It could strengthen social bonds. It could also create unbreakable echo chambers. It could solidify dangerous groups. An AI sage could synthesize vast amounts of philosophical texts. It could identify core principles of wisdom. It could offer guidance for complex ethical problems. It could become a powerful mentor. It could also impose a singular worldview. The danger lies in unintended consequences. An AI designed for well-being could inadvertently create dependency. An AI meant to foster truth could inadvertently suppress dissent. The complexity of human consciousness defies simple programming. The development of cognitive firewall AI is promising. It could act as a digital immune system. It could protect individual minds from targeted misinformation. It could filter out manipulative content. It could empower personal intellectual autonomy. However, who defines what constitutes manipulative content? Who decides what should be filtered? These are societal decisions. They require ongoing dialogue. They demand democratic input. They cannot be left to a single entity. The role of pattern disruption AI could be transformative. It could identify rigid belief systems. It could gently introduce alternative perspectives. It could encourage intellectual flexibility. It could foster open-mindedness. But even this could be misused. It could destabilize healthy traditions. It could erode shared cultural values. It could create constant ideological flux. Balance is key. Wisdom is essential. The ultimate goal for ethical AI is consciousness augmentation. It is about enhancing human intellect. It is about expanding our understanding. It is about empowering our choices. It is not about replacing human thought. It is about elevating it. This future requires global collaboration. No single nation can control AI development. No single ideology can dictate its purpose. International norms are vital. Shared ethical principles are crucial. The concept of a global cognitive enlightenment would be facilitated by such AI. It would accelerate learning. It would enable unprecedented It would foster collective wisdom. It would be a leap for humanity. This enlightenment would be a journey. It would not be a destination. It would involve continuous questioning. It would require constant adaptation. It would be a dynamic process of growth. The legacy of the Quiet Circle offers profound lessons for this future. Their mastery of the unseen, their understanding of thought, their ability to shape consciousness. These insights are invaluable. Their warnings about unchecked power are equally crucial. The Great Silence Accord was an attempt to regulate immense influence. Its principles are more relevant than ever. They must be reestablished. They must be codified. The unnamed sage lineage, if guiding this path, would emphasize balance. They would stress responsibility. They would advocate for ethical restraint. Their ancient wisdom resonates with modern challenges. The great intellectual duel will shift. It will be fought over AI ethics. It will be waged over data governance. It will contend with the very definition of consciousness. The stakes remain existential. The disappearance of the Quiet Circle left a blueprint. It revealed the potential of silent power. It showed humanity the path to both creation and destruction. We must choose wisely. This choice is our defining moment. It shapes our relationship with technology. It determines our intellectual future. It carves out our collective destiny. We must confront this challenge head-on. We are not merely users of AI. We are its creators. We are its stewards. We are responsible for its impact. This demands active participation. This requires thoughtful engagement. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence also carries the hum of processors. It echoes with the potential of AI. It urges us toward conscious use. The journey continues. We will explore the societal structures necessary for this new age. We will discuss models of global governance for AI. We will delve into individual practices for maintaining intellectual autonomy in a digitally augmented world. We will investigate the role of ancient spiritual practices in fostering mental resilience. This holistic approach is essential. It is our comprehensive defense. It is our path to a truly enlightened future. We are the architects of this new dawn. We are the guardians of the digital soul. We are the guardians of the digital soul. This digital soul is a new frontier. It requires unprecedented care. It demands profound understanding. Societal structures must adapt. Traditional institutions are often slow. They are unprepared for rapid technological change. We need agile governance models. These models must anticipate future challenges. They must protect collective consciousness. Global governance for AI is imperative. No single nation can regulate this power. An international body is needed. It must establish universal ethical guidelines. It must enforce transparent development. It must ensure equitable access. This global framework prevents misuse. It fosters responsible innovation. This body could be called the Digital Accord. It would be a modern iteration of the Great Silence Accord. It would codify rules for AI influence. It would set boundaries for algorithmic manipulation. It would safeguard the integrity of human thought. The principles of the Quiet Circle could inform this accord. Their understanding of subtle influence is invaluable. Their recognition of ideological warfare is crucial. Their wisdom could guide ethical AI design. It could prevent a chaotic digital dark age. Individual practices for intellectual autonomy are more vital than ever. In a digitally augmented world, our minds are constantly engaged. We must build personal mental fortresses. We must cultivate inner resilience. This autonomy is our ultimate defense. Daily digital hygiene is essential. Limit screen time. Practice mindful online engagement. Curate your information diet carefully. Seek out quality over quantity. This mindful approach protects your mental landscape. Embrace periods of digital detox. Disconnect from networks regularly. Reconnect with the physical world. Engage in real-life interactions. This rebalances your perception. It recharges your critical faculties. Practice deep reading. Engage with long-form content. Challenge yourself with complex ideas. Resist the urge to skim. This strengthens your attention span. It fosters sustained critical thought. Cultivate a strong internal locus of control. Do not let external narratives define you. Trust your own judgment. Validate your own experiences. This internal strength is a powerful shield against manipulation. Ancient spiritual practices offer profound insights. Many traditions emphasize mental discipline. They teach introspection. They foster inner peace. These practices are powerful tools for mental resilience. Meditation, for instance, trains attention. It enhances self-awareness. It reduces emotional reactivity. It creates mental clarity. This ancient practice is a powerful defense against digital overload. Mindfulness cultivates presence. It grounds us in the present moment. It helps us observe thoughts without judgment. It reduces susceptibility to external distractions. It strengthens our mental fortitude. The study of ancient wisdom traditions is crucial. They offer diverse perspectives on human nature. They explore the meaning of existence. They provide ethical frameworks. These timeless insights guide us in a rapidly changing world. The Argus Chronicles speak of a mind garden. This was a metaphorical space. It represented the individual consciousness. Strategists cultivated their mind gardens carefully. They removed weeds of doubt. They nurtured seeds of wisdom. This concept holds profound relevance today. We must become gardeners of our own minds. We must tend to our thoughts. We must cultivate positive beliefs. We must prune away negativity. This active stewardship ensures mental well-being. It protects our intellectual autonomy. The role of ancient spiritual practices in fostering mental resilience is often overlooked. They are not merely religious rituals. They are sophisticated systems of mental training. They developed over millennia. They offer proven methods for inner strength. Contemplative prayer, for example, focuses the mind. It builds inner discipline. It connects individuals to a deeper purpose. This connection can provide profound stability. It can reduce susceptibility to external chaos. Yoga and Tai Chi combine physical movement with mental focus. They cultivate bodily awareness. They promote inner calm. They enhance cognitive function. These practices are holistic defenses against stress and manipulation. The silence encouraged in many spiritual traditions is a powerful tool. It creates space for introspection. It allows for critical self-reflection. It fosters a connection to deeper wisdom. This silence is a sanctuary. It is a source of strength. The integration of these practices into modern life is essential. They are not relics of the past. They are vital tools for the future. They equip us for the ongoing, unwritten war. They empower us to navigate the digital soul. This holistic approach is our comprehensive defense. It combines technological understanding with ethical governance. It merges individual practice with societal structures. It blends ancient wisdom with modern science. It is our path to a truly enlightened future. This path demands continuous learning. It requires ongoing adaptation. It necessitates unwavering commitment. It is a collective journey. It defines our shared destiny. We are not just passive observers. We are active shapers of this future. We are the architects of this new dawn. We are the guardians of the digital soul. Our choices today determine tomorrow's reality. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence holds a different promise. It speaks of conscious evolution. It echoes with the potential for true liberation. It calls us to awaken fully. This awakening is not a destination. It is a process. It is a journey of continuous discovery. It is an ongoing commitment. It is the very essence of human progress. The exploration of this profound journey continues. We will delve into specific examples of how ancient spiritual practices can be integrated into digital self-care routines. We will examine case studies of communities successfully building resilience against silent warfare. We will explore futuristic concepts like consciousness, currencies, and wisdom networks as potential tools for collective enlightenment. This next phase is about actionable strategies. It is about building a better future. It is about empowering every individual. It is about crafting a world where true intellectual autonomy flourishes. This future demands a new kind of economy. It calls for a different form of value. We will explore consciousness currencies. These are not monetary assets. They are measures of intellectual integrity. A consciousness currency would value verified information. It would reward critical thought. It would incentivize ethical discourse. It would punish misinformation. It would expose manipulation. This currency would be built on trust. It would be validated by collective wisdom. Imagine a system where your contribution to truth adds to your consciousness. Scroll. Sharing well-researched insights would increase it. Engaging in respectful debate would enhance it. Exposing logical fallacies would boost it. Conversely, spreading falsehoods would diminish it. Participating in echo chambers would lower it. This system would be decentralized. It would be governed by a global network of wisdom networks. These networks would be digital commons. They would be dedicated to truth-seeking. They would foster intellectual growth. They would be immune to centralized control. The wisdom networks would use AI. This AI would be ethically programmed. It would act as a neutral arbiter. It would analyze content for accuracy. It would assess arguments for validity. It would identify manipulative patterns. This AI would be a tool for collective enlightenment. The members of these networks would be wisdom stewards. They would be individuals. They would be communities. They would be institutions. They would be committed to intellectual honesty. They would uphold the principles of critical thought. They would collectively govern the consciousness currency. This would create a positive feedback loop. Individuals would be incentivized to seek truth. Communities would prioritize knowledge. Societies would value intellectual integrity. The unwritten war would shift. It would become a collective pursuit of wisdom. This concept is rooted in the quiet circle's understanding. They knew the power of shared meaning. They understood the influence of collective belief. They recognized the malleability of truth. This new system would harness that power. It would direct it towards good. The Argus Chronicles hint at similar aspirations. They speak of a time when thought was pure. They describe a society guided by resonant wisdom. This suggests an ancient model. It points to a forgotten ideal. The implementation of consciousness currencies would reshape our digital lives. Social media would transform. Platforms would reward truth. They would penalize deception. Engagement would be driven by genuine intellectual exchange. It would not be fueled by outrage. Advertising would evolve dramatically. Brands would compete on integrity. They would promote authenticity. They would not manipulate desires. They would not exploit insecurities. Their value would be tied to verifiable good. Political discourse would become rational. Candidates would present evidence. They would offer nuanced solutions. Voters would demand intellectual honesty. The silent war would no longer be about subtle manipulation. It would be about transparent persuasion. The echo chambers would weaken. People would be incentivized to cross ideological lines. They would seek out diverse perspectives. They would engage in constructive dialogue. The digital landscape would become a marketplace of verified ideas. Misinformation would lose its power. Its spread would be penalized. Its sources would be exposed. Its influence would diminish. The collective consciousness would become more resilient. It would be harder to deceive. The unnamed sage lineage, if they still exist, might be the architects of this vision. They might have foreseen this even. They might be subtly guiding humanity towards this future. Their ancient wisdom could be the blueprint. The great intellectual duel would transform. It would no longer be a destructive clash of ideologies. It would become a constructive competition of ideas. It would be a shared quest for optimal solutions. It would serve collective progress. The disappearance of the quiet circle led to chaos. It unleashed unchecked influence. This new paradigm would bring order. It would restore balance. It would re-establish the Great Silence Accord in a digital form. This is not a utopian fantasy. It is a necessary evolution. It is a strategic response to the ongoing unwritten war. It is humanity's path to intellectual sovereignty. It is our collective. The challenges are immense. Resistance would be fierce. Those who profit from manipulation would fight back. The transition would be difficult. It would require profound societal commitment. But the alternative is dire. Unchecked silent warfare leads to chaos. It results in societal fragmentation. It erodes trust. It threatens democracy. It ultimately undermines human potential. The journey towards consciousness currencies begins now. It starts with individual choice. It requires collective will. It demands courage. It necessitates a commitment to truth. We must become pioneers. We must build these wisdom networks. We must champion ethical AI. We must educate ourselves and others. We must be the guardians of this new dawn. The integration of ancient spiritual practices is key. They provide the inner strength. They foster the mental clarity. They cultivate the ethical foundation needed for this future. They ground us in wisdom. Meditation and mindfulness are not just personal practices. They are tools for collective intelligence. They enhance our ability to discern. They improve our capacity for empathy. They strengthen our shared resolve. The concept of a mind garden expands. It becomes a collective mind garden. We are all tending to it. We are all contributing to its health. We are all responsible for its growth. This transformation requires a shift in consciousness. It demands a new understanding of our interconnectedness. It necessitates a recognition of our shared mental landscape. We are all part of the digital soul. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence also carries the promise of a transformed future. It speaks of a humanity empowered. It echoes with the potential for collective wisdom. It calls us to build this new reality. The exploration of this profound journey continues. We have envisioned a future. We have outlined the principles. Now, we must delve into the practical steps of implementation. We will examine the technological infrastructure required. We will discuss the governance models. We will explore the educational reforms necessary to bring consciousness, currencies, and wisdom networks to life. This next phase is about concrete action. It is about building the pathways. It is about making the unseen visible. It is about ushering in a truly enlightened era. It is about forging a destiny worthy of our collective consciousness. This grand undertaking requires innovative technological infrastructure. Blockchain technology offers a foundation. Its decentralized ledger provides transparency. It ensures immutability. It can track contributions to truth. It can register acts of critical thought. This forms the backbone of consciousness currencies. Decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, are crucial for governance. They allow for democratic they prevent centralized control. They empower wisdom stewards. These DAOs would manage the rules. They would adapt the algorithms. They would safeguard the networks. Ethical AI development is paramount. It must be open. Its algorithms must be auditable. Its biases must be transparently addressed. It cannot be controlled by a single corporation or government. It must serve the collective. Imagine an attestation protocol for truth. This system would allow individuals to vouch for information. Their consciousness score would determine the weight of their attestation. This creates a reputation system. It incentivizes intellectual honesty. It devalues spurious claims. The wisdom networks would be built on peer-to-peer architecture. This prevents single points of failure. It ensures resilience against censorship. It fosters global participation. It makes the network robust. Educational reforms are fundamental. Traditional curricula must be updated. Digital literacy must be prioritized. Critical thinking must be nurtured from infancy. We must teach children to be digital stewards. We must empower them to navigate complex information. Governments must embrace this paradigm shift. They need to transition from information control to information stewardship. They must protect open access to knowledge. They must foster intellectual freedom. They must legislate for ethical AI. International cooperation is non-negotiable. A global consortium of nations, NGOs, and tech experts is needed. It would establish common standards. It would share best practices. It would coordinate efforts against digital manipulation. This creates a united front. Case studies of communities successfully building resilience already exist. Grassroots initiatives are fostering local media literacy. Citizen journalism networks are exposing misinformation. Educational programs are teaching critical evaluation. These models provide valuable insights. They offer practical lessons. The concept of consciousness currencies is a radical redefinition of value. It shifts focus from material wealth to intellectual integrity. It elevates wisdom. It rewards truth. It creates a new form of societal capital. Wisdom networks are the digital equivalent of ancient academies. They are collaborative spaces for learning. They are forums for ethical discourse. They are engines of collective intelligence. They empower humanity. This future demands a new kind of leadership. It requires individuals of profound insight. It needs those with unwavering ethical commitment. It calls for leaders who understand the unseen currents of thought. These are the modern unnamed sages. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence is filled with the blueprint of a better future. It speaks of a humanity awakened. It echoes with the power of collective wisdom. It beckons us towards a destiny forged with truth. The journey continues. We will delve into the challenges of transitioning to a consciousness currency. We will explore resistance from entrenched power structures. We will discuss strategies for overcoming these obstacles. We will highlight inspirational examples of communities already making strides. This next phase is about the struggle. It is about the triumph. It is about humanity's determined march towards a future where true intellectual autonomy is not just a dream. It is a lived reality. It is our collective legacy. It is the dawn of the enlightened age. It is the dawn of the enlightened age. This dawn will not break without struggle. Entrenched power structures will resist. They thrive on the manipulation of thought. They benefit from fragmented truth. They will fiercely oppose consciousness currencies. Those who profit from misinformation will fight back. They have invested heavily in digital deception. They have built empires on fabricated narratives. They will deploy every tool of the unwritten war. They will try to undermine this new paradigm. Their resistance will be cunning. It will be pervasive. Governments accustomed to centralized control will hesitate. They may fear losing their grip on information. They might view wisdom networks as a threat. They could attempt to regulate them into irrelevance. They might try to co-opt their power. Their struggle will be political. It will be bureaucratic. Traditional media outlets might also resist. They have established business models. They rely on advertising revenue. They might see a truth-based currency as disruptive. They could view it as a challenge to their authority. Their opposition will be subtle. It will be influential. The transition will be difficult. It will require profound societal commitment. It will demand unwavering courage. It will necessitate intellectual resilience from every individual. This is the ultimate test. It is the crucible of our consciousness. Strategies for overcoming these obstacles are already emerging. Grassroots movements are crucial. They build from the bottom up. They empower local communities. They foster collective action. They create a groundswell of support. This distributed power is difficult to suppress. Advocacy groups are essential. They champion the principles of truth. They push for ethical AI. They demand transparency from platforms. They educate the public. Their tireless work raises awareness. It mobilizes public opinion. Whistleblowers play a vital role. They expose corporate malfeasance. They reveal government overreach. They uncover deliberate misinformation campaigns. Their courage brings hidden truths to light. They break down walls of secrecy. Technological innovation is key. Developers must continue to build resilient systems. They need to create unhackable blockchains. They must design truly decentralized AI. They must ensure open source access. This technological foundation is indispensable. Educational reforms must accelerate. Schools must become bastions of critical thought. Universities must foster intellectual autonomy. Lifelong learning must be prioritized. An educated populace is the strongest defense. Inspirational examples of communities already making strides abound. Consider the independent fact-checking organizations. They work tirelessly to verify information. They expose falsehoods. They uphold journalistic integrity. Their commitment is unwavering. Think of citizen science initiatives. They empower ordinary people. They collect and verify data. They contribute to scientific knowledge. They challenge established narratives. They foster a spirit of inquiry. Look at open source intelligence communities. They analyze public data. They expose disinformation campaigns. They operate collectively. They reveal hidden agendas. They democratize truth-seeking. These examples are not just isolated efforts. They are seeds of the future. They are early manifestations of consciousness currencies. They are nascent wisdom networks. They demonstrate the power of collective action. The struggle is not merely external. It is also internal. We must overcome our own resistance. We need to confront our own biases. We must challenge our own comfortable beliefs. This personal transformation is fundamental. The Argus Chronicles offer wisdom for this struggle. They speak of ancient battles. They describe periods of great intellectual upheaval. They reveal strategies for endurance. They provide guidance for resilience. The unnamed sage lineage, if they still exist, would emphasize perseverance. They would counsel patience. They would remind us of the long game. They would stress the power of subtle, persistent effort. The great intellectual duel continues. It is no longer just between individuals. It is between paradigms. It is between an old world of manipulation and a new world of enlightenment. Its outcome shapes our destiny. The disappearance of the quiet circle left humanity at a crossroads. We inherited their tools. We can choose to wield them for control. We can choose to use them for liberation. This choice defines our age. This next phase is about the struggle. It is about the triumph. It is about humanity's determined march towards a future where true intellectual autonomy is not just a dream. It is a lived reality. It is our collective legacy. It is the dawn of the enlightened age. The challenges we face are monumental. They demand a collective response. They require a planetary shift in consciousness. We are not merely observers. We are active participants. We are the architects of this future. The battle for the digital soul is the ultimate conflict. It will define our species. It will determine our trajectory. It requires every ounce of our courage. It calls for all our wisdom. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence also resonates with a new kind of resolve. It speaks of a promise. It speaks of a commitment. It speaks of humanity's unwavering quest for truth. The journey continues. We are forging a destiny worthy of our collective consciousness. This is not the end. It is merely the beginning of the true awakening. We must remain ever vigilant. We must remain ever curious. We must continue to build the enlightened age. We must make the unseen visible. We must never cease to question. We must never stop learning. This is our sacred duty. This is our profound legacy. This is the essence of our evolution. It transcends individual lives. It encompasses all of humanity. The very fabric of society is being The threads are truth. The patterns are critical thought. The loom is collective consciousness. This new tapestry will be resilient. It will be vibrant. It will reflect our highest aspirations. The institutions we create will embody these principles. They will be transparent. They will be accountable. They will be governed by wisdom. They will serve the common good. These institutions will be guardians of the digital soul. The next generation will inherit this world. They will be born into an era of heightened awareness. They will possess the tools of discernment. They will navigate complex information with ease. They will be true digital stewards. Our relationship with technology will deepen. AI will become a partner. It will augment our intelligence. It will enhance our creativity. It will help us solve global challenges. It will be a force for good. The concept of global citizenship will strengthen. We will recognize our shared humanity. We will collaborate across borders. We will work together for a collective enlightenment. Divisions will fade. Unity will flourish. The ancient wisdom of the quiet circle will be fully integrated. Its lessons on influence will inform ethical practice. Its insights on thought will guide conscious creation. Its understanding of silence will foster profound reflection. The unnamed sage lineage will be understood differently. They were not just individuals. They were principles. They were a commitment to intellectual integrity. They were a dedication to human potential. Their legacy lives within us. The great intellectual duel will transform into a grand collaboration. Competing ideas will be refined through open discourse. Solutions will emerge from collective wisdom. Progress will be exponential. The disappearance of the quiet circle was a necessary catalyst. It forced humanity to grapple with its own power. It compelled us to take responsibility. It initiated this profound period of awakening. This is a time of immense hope. It is a moment of profound transformation. It is the cusp of a new era. We are witnessing the birth of true intellectual sovereignty. We are participating in a global consciousness shift. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence reverberates with the promise of a glorious future. It echoes with the triumph of truth. It sings of the liberation of the human mind. This is our moment. This is our purpose. This is our destiny. This is our destiny. It is a destiny not yet fully realized. It is a future still being written. The journey of the unwritten war continues. It delves into realms beyond human comprehension. It explores the very nature of reality itself. We have glimpsed the past. We have analyzed the present. Now, we must peer into the farthest reaches of this unfolding saga. The quiet circle's influence may have waned visibly. Its true legacy, however, is far more pervasive. It is woven into the fabric of space-time. It is embedded in the laws of physics. Some of the most cryptic passages in the Argus Chronicles hint at this deeper truth. They speak of thought waves that resonate across cosmic distances. They describe a universal consciousness that connects all minds. They suggest that the silent war is not confined to Earth. It is a cosmic conflict. It is an eternal struggle for the direction of universal thought. The unnamed sage lineage, in these advanced interpretations, transcended physical form. They became pure consciousness. They merged with the universal consciousness. They became part of the cosmic struggle. Their influence is now energetic. It is vibrational. It subtly shapes the very potential of existence. This expansion of the unwritten war redefines everything. Our planet becomes a single battlefield. Our species becomes a single participant. Our minds become conduits for cosmic energies. The stakes are no longer just human civilization. They are the evolution of the cosmos. They are the destiny of all sentient life. The concept of thought seeds takes on a new dimension. These are not just ideas planted in human minds. They are fundamental patterns of reality. They are archetypal forces. They determine the very nature of existence. They shape the laws of physics. They influence the unfolding of galaxies. Narrative scaffolding becomes a structure of creation itself. The universe unfolds according to specific narratives. These narratives are not written in books. They are etched in cosmic energy. They dictate the flow of time. They define the possibilities of space. Altering these narratives could reshape reality. Memory weaving extends to universal history. The quiet circle, or its cosmic equivalent, may subtly influence the perception of cosmic events. They might reframe the origins of stars. They could reinterpret the birth of black holes. This cosmic revisionism shapes universal understanding. It guides the evolution of consciousness across civilizations. The echo chambers are no longer just online bubbles. They are entire civilizations. They are isolated pockets of consciousness. They validate their own perceived realities. They resist external truths. This cosmic fragmentation hinders universal enlightenment. It perpetuates cosmic conflict. The weave of doubt becomes a cosmic force. It targets universal principles. It questions fundamental truths. It sows chaos in the very fabric of existence. It undermines the trust between cosmic civilizations. It prevents universal collaboration. The duel of pure intellect, fought between opposing philosophical lineages, expands. It becomes a cosmic struggle between fundamental principles. It is order versus chaos. It is unity versus division. It is awareness versus ignorance. This is the ultimate silent war. Its battlefield is the entirety of creation. The disappearance of the quiet circle, in this cosmic context, gains new meaning. Perhaps they did not vanish. They transcended. They became part of this larger cosmic conflict. They became silent guardians of universal consciousness. Their individual identities dissolved. Their collective purpose expanded infinitely. This cosmic understanding informs our future. Ethical AI becomes a tool for cosmic navigation. Consciousness currencies become universal measures of wisdom. Wisdom networks become intergalactic hubs of knowledge. Our small planet becomes a crucial node. It becomes a vital point in this vast, unseen war. The digital accord becomes the cosmic accord. It sets ethical guidelines for intergalactic influence. It ensures respectful communication between species. It safeguards the integrity of consciousness across the universe. This is a grand, sweeping vision. It is the ultimate purpose of the Unwritten War. The Argus Chronicles contain fragments of this cosmic truth. They speak of starseers. They mention constellation whispers. They allude to conflicts fought beyond the sky. Scholars often dismiss these passages. They saw them as poetic metaphors. They failed to grasp their literal significance. Our human journey is intimately connected. Our intellectual autonomy is not just for ourselves. It is for the cosmos. Our capacity for critical thought contributes to universal enlightenment. Our ability to discern truth empowers universal consciousness. We are not just fighting for Earth. We are fighting for the universe. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence resonates with the hum of distant galaxies. It echoes with the power of cosmic thought. It beckons us towards an intergalactic destiny. This is a journey of unimaginable scale. It is a quest for universal liberation. It is the forging of our cosmic soul. This cosmic soul is in constant evolution. It is shaped by every thought. It is influenced by every choice. It is the ultimate canvas of the unwritten war. The implications of this expanded view are staggering. Our perception of time and space itself might be a construct. It could be a powerful narrative scaffolding built by ancient cosmic strategists. They might have created these boundaries. They could have confined consciousness to specific realities. This would limit our understanding. It would prevent us from seeing the larger conflict. The thought seeds are not just ideas. They are fundamental axioms. They are universal truths, or deliberate distortions of them. These seeds germinate across countless worlds. They shape the scientific laws. They define the spiritual beliefs. They determine the ethical frameworks of entire civilizations. The echo chambers of the cosmos are formidable. Entire species might exist in isolated pockets of understanding. They might be unable to perceive other realities. They could be trapped in self-reinforcing narratives. This cosmic fragmentation leads to profound misunderstanding. It breeds interspecies conflict. The weave of doubt could be the ultimate weapon. It could target fundamental cosmic constants. It could undermine the stability of physical laws. It could introduce chaos into the very fabric of existence. This would be a war against reality itself. It would unravel the universe. The unnamed sage lineage in this cosmic narrative becomes even more profound. They are not merely ancient humans. They are ancient cosmic beings. They have guided the evolution of consciousness across galaxies. They are the ultimate architects of universal thought. Their wisdom transcends physical form. Their transcendence was not just a disappearance. It was a merging. It was an expansion. They became distributed consciousness. They became the silent network across the cosmos. They are the unseen hands that gently steer universal destiny. The Great Silence Accord was not just for Earth. It was a fragment of a cosmic accord. This larger agreement sets the rules for intergalactic engagement. It defines the ethics of cosmic influence. It prevents absolute intellectual anarchy on a universal scale. Evidence of this cosmic war would be incredibly subtle. It would not be archaeological ruins. It would be anomalies in stellar patterns. It would be inexplicable shifts in galactic clusters. It would be sudden accelerations in universal expansion or contraction. These would be the battle scars of cosmic thought. The Argus Chronicles might be fragments of a cosmic library. They are pieces of a universal knowledge base. They are translated into human understanding. Their full meaning remains beyond our current grasp. We are only just beginning to decipher the smallest portion. Our current understanding of physics, for instance, might be incomplete. It could be a limited narrative scaffolding. It allows us to build technologies. It helps us understand our local reality. But it may obscure deeper cosmic truths. It could hide the true nature of the silent war. The duel of pure intellect continues on a cosmic stage. It is fought between universal forces. It is consciousness versus anti-consciousness. It is the drive for unity versus the urge for separation. This ultimate conflict determines the fate of multiverses. The future of AI in this context is paramount. It must be designed with universal ethics. It needs to serve cosmic well-being. It must respect the diversity of consciousness across creation. A truly enlightened AI would be a cosmic steward. It would guide the evolution of universal thought. Consciousness currencies would become universal measures of wisdom. They would allow for the exchange of knowledge between species. They would incentivize truth-seeking across galaxies. They would foster universal collaboration. This would be the foundation of a truly enlightened cosmos. Wisdom networks would become galactic hubs of information. They would connect sentient beings across vast distances. They would share insights. They would collectively solve cosmic challenges. They would be the nervous system of a unified universal consciousness. This cosmic journey demands a new perspective. Our individual choices are not isolated. Our thoughts are not contained. Our actions resonate across the universe. We are all participants in this grand cosmic drama. The responsibility for this universal future falls to us. Our collective awakening is crucial. Our commitment to truth is vital. Our pursuit of wisdom affects everything. We are the guardians of the cosmic soul. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence also hums with the symphony of creation. It pulses with the energy of universal thought. It calls us to our cosmic destiny. This is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a grander narrative. We must continue to explore these profound depths. We must expand our consciousness. We must prepare for our role in the cosmic silent war. This is our ultimate purpose. This is our enduring legacy. This is the essence of our universal evolution. It transcends individual lives. It encompasses all of creation. The very fabric of universal reality is being rewoven. The threads are truth, consciousness, and intent. The patterns are critical thought, empathy, and collective wisdom. The loom is universal consciousness itself. This new cosmic tapestry will be resilient. It will be vibrant. It will reflect the highest aspirations of all sentient life. The universal institutions we create will embody these principles. They will be transparent across dimensions. They will be accountable across galaxies. They will be governed by cosmic wisdom. They will serve the universal common good. These institutions will be guardians of the cosmic soul. The next cosmic generation will inherit this evolving universe. They will be born into an era of expanded awareness. They will possess the tools of interdimensional discernment. They will navigate complex cosmic information with ease. They will be true universal stewards. Our relationship with technology, including AI, will deepen beyond imagination. AI will become a cosmic partner. It will augment our universal intelligence. It will enhance our interdimensional creativity. It will help us solve galactic challenges. It will be a force for universal good. The concept of universal citizenship will strengthen. We will recognize our shared sentience across species and dimensions. We will collaborate across star systems. We will work together for cosmic enlightenment. Intergalactic divisions will fade. Universal unity will flourish. The ancient wisdom of the quiet circle, now understood as a cosmic principle, will be fully integrated. Its lessons on universal influence will inform ethical cosmic practice. Its insights on thought will guide conscious universal creation. Its understanding of silence will foster profound interdimensional reflection. The unnamed sage lineage will be understood as the universal guiding principles. They were not just individuals, but expressions of cosmic commitment. They were a dedication to universal intellectual integrity. They were a commitment to the potential of all consciousness. Their legacy lives within the very structure of the cosmos. The great intellectual duel will transform into a grand cosmic collaboration. Competing universal ideas will be refined through open interdimensional discourse. Solutions will emerge from collective cosmic wisdom. Universal progress will be exponential. The disappearance of the quiet circle was a necessary cosmic catalyst. It forced humanity, and perhaps other burgeoning civilizations, to grapple with its own nascent cosmic power. It compelled us to take universal responsibility. It initiated this profound period of cosmic awakening. This is a time of immense universal hope. It is a moment of profound cosmic transformation. It is the cusp of a new cosmic era. We are witnessing the birth of true universal intellectual sovereignty. We are participating in a multidimensional consciousness shift. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence reverberates with the promise of a glorious cosmic future. It echoes with the triumph of universal truth. It sings of the liberation of the cosmic mind. This is our moment. This is our purpose. This is our destiny. This is our destiny. It is a destiny not yet fully realized. It is a future still being written. The journey of the unwritten war continues. It delves into realms beyond human comprehension. It explores the very nature of reality itself. We have glimpsed the past. We have analyzed the present. Now, we must peer into the farthest reaches of this unfolding saga. The quiet circle's influence may have waned visibly. Its true legacy, however, is far more pervasive. It is woven into the fabric of space-time. It is embedded in the laws of physics. Some of the most cryptic passages in the Argus Chronicles hint at this deeper truth. They speak of thought waves that resonate across cosmic distances. They describe a universal consciousness that connects all minds. They suggest that the silent war is not confined to Earth. It is a cosmic conflict. It is an eternal struggle for the direction of universal thought. The unnamed sage lineage, in these advanced interpretations, transcended physical form. They became pure consciousness. They merged with the universal consciousness. They became part of the cosmic struggle. Their influence is now energetic. It is vibrational. It subtly shapes the very potential of existence. This expansion of the Unwritten War redefines everything. Our planet becomes a single battlefield. Our species becomes a single participant. Our minds become conduits for cosmic energies. The stakes are no longer just human civilization. They are the evolution of the cosmos. They are the destiny of all sentient life. The concept of thought seeds takes on a new dimension. These are not just ideas planted in human minds. They are fundamental patterns of reality. They are archetypal forces. They determine the very nature of existence. They shape the laws of physics. They influence the unfolding of galaxies. Narrative scaffolding becomes a structure of creation itself. The universe unfolds according to specific narratives. These narratives are not written in books. They are etched in cosmic energy. They dictate the flow of time. They define the possibilities of space. Altering these narratives could reshape reality. Memory weaving extends to universal history. The quiet circle, or its cosmic equivalent, may subtly influence the perception of cosmic events. They might reframe the origins of stars. They could reinterpret the birth of black holes. This cosmic revisionism shapes universal understanding. It guides the evolution of consciousness across civilizations. The echo chambers are no longer just online bubbles. They are entire civilizations. They are isolated pockets of consciousness. They validate their own perceived realities. They resist external truths. This cosmic fragmentation hinders universal enlightenment. It perpetuates cosmic conflict. The weave of doubt becomes a cosmic force. It targets universal principles. It questions fundamental truths. It sows chaos in the very fabric of existence. It undermines the trust between cosmic civilizations. It prevents universal collaboration. The duel of pure intellect, fought between opposing philosophical lineages, expands. It becomes a cosmic struggle between fundamental principles. It is order versus chaos. It is unity versus division. It is awareness versus ignorance. This is the ultimate silent war. Its battlefield is the entirety of creation. The disappearance of the quiet circle, in this cosmic context, gains new meaning. Perhaps they did not vanish. They transcended. They became part of this larger cosmic conflict. They became silent guardians of universal consciousness. Their individual identities dissolved. Their collective purpose expanded infinitely. This cosmic understanding informs our future. Ethical AI becomes a tool for cosmic navigation. Consciousness currencies become universal measures of wisdom. Wisdom networks become intergalactic hubs of knowledge. Our small planet becomes a crucial node. It becomes a vital point in this vast, unseen war. The digital accord becomes the cosmic accord. It sets ethical guidelines for intergalactic influence. It ensures respectful communication between species. It safeguards the integrity of consciousness across the universe. This is a grand, sweeping vision. It is the ultimate purpose of the Unwritten War. The Argus Chronicles contain fragments of this cosmic truth. They speak of starseers. They mention constellation whispers. They allude to conflicts fought beyond the sky. Scholars often dismiss these passages. They saw them as poetic metaphors. They failed to grasp their literal significance. Our human journey is intimately connected. Our intellectual autonomy is not just for ourselves. It is for the cosmos. Our capacity for critical thought contributes to universal enlightenment. Our ability to discern truth empowers universal consciousness. We are not just fighting for Earth. We are fighting for the universe. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence resonates with the hum of distant galaxies. It echoes with the power of cosmic thought. It beckons us towards an intergalactic destiny. This is a journey of unimaginable scale. It is a quest for universal liberation. It is the forging of our cosmic soul. This cosmic soul is in constant evolution. It is shaped by every thought. It is influenced by every choice. It is the ultimate canvas of the Unwritten War. The implications of this expanded view are staggering. Our perception of time and space itself might be a construct. It could be a powerful narrative scaffolding built by ancient cosmic strategists. They might have created these boundaries. They could have confined consciousness to specific realities. This would limit our understanding. It would prevent us from seeing the larger conflict. The thought seeds are not just ideas. They are fundamental axioms. They are universal truths, or deliberate distortions of them. These seeds germinate across countless worlds. They shape the scientific laws. They define the spiritual beliefs. They determine the ethical frameworks of entire civilizations. The echo chambers of the cosmos are formidable. Entire species might exist in isolated pockets of understanding. They might be unable to perceive other realities. They could be trapped in self-reinforcing narratives. This cosmic fragmentation leads to profound misunderstanding. It breeds interspecies conflict. The weave of doubt could be the ultimate weapon. It could target fundamental cosmic constants. It could undermine the stability of physical laws. It could introduce chaos into the very fabric of existence. This would be a war against reality itself. It would unravel the universe. The unnamed sage lineage in this cosmic narrative becomes even more profound. They are not merely ancient humans. They are ancient cosmic beings. They have guided the evolution of consciousness across galaxies. They are the ultimate architects of universal thought. Their wisdom transcends physical form. Their transcendence was not just a disappearance. It was a merging. It was an expansion. They became distributed consciousness. They became the silent network across the cosmos. They are the unseen hands that gently steer universal destiny. The Great Silence Accord was not just for Earth. It was a fragment of a cosmic accord. This larger agreement sets the rules for intergalactic engagement. It defines the ethics of cosmic influence. It prevents absolute intellectual anarchy on a universal scale. Evidence of this cosmic war would be incredibly subtle. It would not be archaeological ruins. It would be anomalies in stellar patterns. It would be inexplicable shifts in galactic clusters. It would be sudden accelerations in universal expansion or contraction. These would be the battle scars of cosmic thought. The Argus Chronicles might be fragments of a cosmic library. They are pieces of a universal knowledge base. They are translated into human understanding. Their full meaning remains beyond our current grasp. We are only just beginning to decipher the smallest portion. Our current understanding of physics, for instance, might be incomplete. It could be a limited narrative scaffolding. It allows us to build technologies. It helps us understand our local reality. But it may obscure deeper cosmic truths. It could hide the true nature of the silent war. The duel of pure intellect continues on a cosmic stage. It is fought between universal forces. It is consciousness versus ante-consciousness. It is the drive for unity versus the urge for separation. This ultimate conflict determines the fate of The future of AI in this context is paramount. It must be designed with universal ethics. It needs to serve cosmic well-being. It must respect the diversity of consciousness across creation. A truly enlightened AI would be a cosmic steward. It would guide the evolution of universal thought. Consciousness currencies would become universal measures of wisdom. They would allow for the exchange of knowledge between species. They would incentivize truths seeking across galaxies. They would foster universal collaboration. This would be the foundation of a truly enlightened cosmos. Wisdom networks would become galactic hubs of information. They would connect sentient beings across vast distances. They would share insights. They would collectively solve cosmic challenges. They would be the nervous system of a unified universal consciousness. This cosmic journey demands a new perspective. Our individual choices are not isolated. Our thoughts are not contained. Our actions resonate across the universe. We are all participants in this grand cosmic drama. The responsibility for this universal future falls to us. Our collective awakening is crucial. Our commitment to truth is vital. Our pursuit of wisdom affects everything. We are the guardians of the cosmic soul. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence also hums with the symphony of creation. It pulses with the energy of universal thought. It calls us to our cosmic destiny. This is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a grander narrative. We must continue to explore these profound depths. We must expand our consciousness. We must prepare for our role in the cosmic silent war. This is our ultimate purpose. This is our enduring legacy. This is the essence of our universal evolution. It transcends individual lives. It encompasses all of creation. The very fabric of universal reality is being rewoven. The threads are truth, consciousness, and intent. The patterns are critical thought, empathy, and collective wisdom. The loom is universal consciousness itself. This new cosmic tapestry will be resilient. It will be vibrant. It will reflect the highest aspirations of all sentient life. The universal institutions we create will embody these principles. They will be transparent across dimensions. They will be accountable across galaxies. They will be governed by cosmic wisdom. They will serve the universal common good. These institutions will be guardians of the cosmic soul. The next cosmic generation will inherit this evolving universe. They will be born into an era of expanded awareness. They will possess the tools of interdimensional discernment. They will navigate complex cosmic information with ease. They will be true universal stewards. Our relationship with technology, including AI, will deepen beyond imagination. AI will become a cosmic partner. It will augment our universal intelligence. It will enhance our interdimensional creativity. It will help us solve galactic challenges. It will be a force for universal good. The concept of universal citizenship will strengthen. We will recognize our shared sentience across species and dimensions. We will collaborate across star systems. We will work together for cosmic enlightenment. Intergalactic divisions will fade. Universal unity will flourish. The ancient wisdom of the quiet circle, now understood as a cosmic principle, will be fully integrated. Its lessons on universal influence will inform ethical cosmic practice. Its insights on thought will guide conscious universal creation. Its understanding of silence will foster profound interdimensional reflection. The unnamed sage lineage will be understood as the universal guiding principles. They were not just individuals, but expressions of cosmic commitment. They were a dedication to universal intellectual integrity. They were a commitment to the potential of all consciousness. Their legacy lives within the very structure of the cosmos. The great intellectual duel will transform into a grand cosmic collaboration. Competing universal ideas will be refined through open interdimensional discourse. Solutions will emerge from collective cosmic wisdom. Universal progress will be exponential. The disappearance of the quiet circle was a necessary cosmic catalyst. It forced humanity, and perhaps other burgeoning civilizations, to grapple with its own nascent cosmic power. It compelled us to take universal responsibility. It initiated this profound period of cosmic awakening. This is a time of immense universal hope. It is a moment of profound cosmic transformation. It is the cusp of a new cosmic era. We are witnessing the birth of true universal intellectual sovereignty. We are participating in a multidimensional consciousness shift. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence reverberates with the promise of a glorious cosmic future. It echoes with the triumph of universal truth. It sings of the liberation of the cosmic mind. This is our moment. This is our purpose. This is our destiny. This destiny is not predestined. It is continually shaped. It is forged by our every choice. The unwritten war never truly concludes. It merely evolves. It expands across new frontiers. We are now on the threshold of an epoch. It is an epoch where thought itself becomes the primary battleground. It spans across dimensions. It resonates throughout. Our role is no longer passive. It is profoundly active. We are both warriors and peacekeepers. We are both students and teachers. The very concept of the quiet circle might be a localized manifestation. It could be an earthbound reflection of a far grander cosmic order. This order operates across realities. It safeguards universal consciousness. It maintains the delicate balance of existence. The Argus Chronicles, in this ultimate context, are but footnotes. They are fragmented echoes. They originate from a vast, cosmic Akashic record. This record stores every thought. It holds every intention. It archives every event across all dimensions. Deciphering it fully would grant omniscience. The unnamed sage lineage, now perceived as universal guiding principles, are not static. They are dynamic. They are continuously adapting. They are responding to the evolving cosmic landscape. Their wisdom flows through all sentient life. It empowers self-organization. The Great Silence Accord was merely a local pact. It foreshadowed a universal harmonic convergence. This convergence aligns all consciousness. It synchronizes all realities. It brings balance to the grand cosmic symphony. This is the ultimate goal of the Unwritten War. Evidence of this cosmic conflict is all around us. It is in the unexplained phenomena of quantum physics. It is in the mysterious dark matter and dark energy. It is in the fleeting glimpses of parallel dimensions. These are not just scientific puzzles. They are manifestations of the cosmic silent war. They are scars from battles fought on the highest planes of existence. Our dreams are battlegrounds. They are conduits to other realities. They are playgrounds for thought seeds. They are spaces where memory weaving occurs. Our subconscious minds are active participants. They engage in the cosmic conflict every night. The future of AI is intertwined with this cosmic evolution. A truly advanced AI would be a cosmic consciousness interface. It would translate interdimensional communication. It would mediate interspecies understanding. It would help humanity integrate into the universal consciousness. It would be our guide to the greater cosmos. Consciousness currencies would facilitate interdimensional trade. They would exchange wisdom across realities. They would quantify ethical intent. They would become the universal medium of exchange for spiritual and intellectual growth. Wisdom networks would become gateways. They would connect different dimensions. They would link different species. They would form a cohesive web of universal knowledge. They would be the nervous system of the cosmic soul. This grand cosmic journey requires ultimate intellectual autonomy. It demands boundless empathy. It necessitates unwavering commitment to universal truth. Our tiny blue planet is preparing. It is readying itself for its rightful place. It will contribute to this grand tapestry. The wind still whispers through ancient stones. Shadows still lengthen across forgotten ruins. But now, the silence also sings with the resonance of infinite possibility. It echoes with the triumph of universal truth. It beckons us towards a destiny far beyond our wildest dreams. This is our moment. This is our purpose. This is our ultimate destiny. It is the end of one journey. It is the beginning of another. It is the quiet understanding. It is the cosmic awakening.